you're not. Are you
Hi, my name's Jared Waitley, he's Mark Robinson, and this is AFL 360.
What? Wait a minute, no, that's not right.
Oh, sorry, let's start again. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2019-2020 Fremantle District Cricket Club Marsh Medal.
That's better. My name is Jordan Buller, Fremantle second grade and former A grade opening batsman, committee member, club and Benny's Bar and Bistro veteran, and of course for the fourth straight year, the FDCC night captain. And I will be one of your hosts for this evening. To my left here is a man who needs no introduction. His name is Benoit Gaffney and his reputation precedes him. Not only is Benoit our third grade captain and aggressive opening batsman, he also has a remarkable run scoring record at the club, including a 2013-14 season where he broke all kinds of records, scoring 83 runs for the whole season in third grade cricket at a whopping average of 5.63. Benoit and myself will be your hosts for this evening in Freo's Night of Nights, the Marsh Medal.
We hope that you're sitting back, enjoying a delicious meal from Smile Events and maybe one or two cold beverages, socially distancing yourself from your family, getting ready to find out who will be crowned victorious in the tightest count in years. The second most prestigious award that can be won at the club, behind the Port Boy of the Year, shout out to this year's winner Jason Ferris. The Marsh Medal features a Brownlow medal style 3-2-1 voting system for each regular season fixture of the first grade season. This means that all one-day and two-day regular season games and finals matches will be included, but excludes T20 matches.
The votes for each match are recorded by the umpires at the end of the fixture and are awarded to the three best players for Freo in that game. The votes are then sealed in an envelope and delivered by our first grade scorer Sue Rogers into a tightly secure vault. The vault was unlocked just a few minutes ago before the count and delivered by an armoured guard to Sue and Grant Edgar, who have supervised the final tallies for tonight's count. Grant and Sue have been extremely tight-lipped in regards to the final results, and not even we know the winner. However, they have assured us that you won't want to miss the ending of the count, as at least 4 players can win the Marsh Medal leading into the final round. Previous winners of the Marsh Medal include club legends such as Jamie Heath, Chris Wood, Brett Dorey, and even our current assistant coach Wayne Copeland shared the award with George Bradley Hogg, our favourite left-arm tweaker, in 94-95.
But who should we be looking out for tonight's Chris Judd, Nat Fyfe, Dustin Martin?
Will it be our Captain Courageous and everyone's favourite batsman, Jake Carter? Jake was looking to do what Tim Armstrong did back in 2014 by going back-to-back after he claimed the Marsh Medal last year in a landslide victory. Carter had another superb year, which resulted in him getting a Sheffield Shield debut.
Or could it be our import, Eddie the Slug Byron? Eddie blew our mind this year in his first season for the club as our international player from the mighty Somerset Cricket Club. We had heard big things about Eddie, but he truly blew our minds with some of his impeccable striking and ingenious shot making. Could Byram join his great mate and Somerset captain Tom Abel as a winner of the medal?
Or could the winner of the medal be our breakout young gun, Caden Yum Yum Cookson? His game went to a whole new level in 2020 season, and he proved that he can push to even greater heights. Caden is only 20 years old, and that would be the youngest Marsh medalist we have ever had. Can Chris Cookson's son spin to win?
Or our fourth favourite, the brilliant batting all-rounder Chris Davenport. Davo really solidified himself as one of the premier batsmen in the WACA A-grade competition this year, whilst adding a new bow string to his bow, as one of the game's frontline leg spin bowlers. He became a real wicket-taking option, and batting all-rounders typically poll well in Marsh medals. After being close on a few occasions, could Davenport join the likes of Chalou, Abel, Turner and Wood as batting all-rounders to win the medal?
Or could a dark horse bolt home? Sam Wyman was brilliant with his few appearances and won the batting average of the whole WACA A-grade competition. Or could a $1,001 outsider such as Dan Kennedy or Ben Moore shock us and get the chocolates tonight?
Before we find out, we just wanted to thank a few people who have helped make tonight happen. Firstly, to our amazing sponsors, in no particular order: Asia World Shipping, Backfast, Biolab, Biofields, Prime West and Southern Cricket. We thank you so much for your ongoing support, contributions to the club, and we look forward to your continued support in the future.
Secondly, to our incredible committee who took on the risk by putting their faith in the hands of a few senior players to organise this video presentation. We are so lucky to have the best volunteers in Australia at our club, and tonight simply couldn't have happened without Dave Davenport and Chelsea Fell being willing to take these risks.
Next to a few people who have played big roles in helping tonight. To Chelsea Fell and Smile Events, thank you so much for organising meals for the players, coaches, sponsors, committee members and a large number of the Port community tonight. We're lucky enough to experience their food every selection dinner and we couldn't recommend them higher.
Also a big shout out to former Port boy and world's sweatiest man Alex Wyman and his band Great Gable for letting us use some of their biggest hits in tonight's video. Definitely check them out on Spotify and iTunes to help you get through that working day.
And of course a massive thank you to Nick Cambridge for all the photos we've used tonight, along with Interact Sport, who have filmed a number of our games this year and provided us with some incredible footage.
So that's all the thank yous done, and just one last thing before we get into the serious stuff. To show your support for your favourite Port boys in the countdown, we're asking you to get onto social media, onto your Facebook, your Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or even your TikTok, Benoit, and tag @FremantleDCC and hashtag Marsh Medal. We will be reposting all the photos we can throughout the night.
So let's get into it. Soon we'll be hearing from a number of guest speakers to help recap the season. We'll also hear from the grade captains to present the batting and bowling awards from their respective grades. And we'll also hear from the club assistant coach, Wayne Copeland, who will present the lower grade encouragement award. Head coach Joe Piramali will announce the Graham Porter Clubman of the Year award, and we've got a few other special guests along the way. For now, we'll head to Dave Davenport for his first address as the president of the Marsh Medal count, albeit from his living room. And please note, we don't necessarily condone any of the medical advice given by our president during this speech.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome our players, the coaches, committee members, their partners, families, supporters, friends and life members to our Fremantle District Cricket Club's Marsh Medal presentation. As we all know, the wind-up at Fremantle Sailing Club was not to be, thanks to the COVID-19 restrictions that were in place at the time, so the season ended rather suddenly. In true Port fashion, our players, led by Ben Moore and ably assisted by Jordan Buller and Benoit Gaffney, along with Grosey, got together to bring you this video presentation, and so that we can all celebrate this season properly together. In the field, both our second and third grade sides made it through to the elimination finals, and our third grade side was still in contention when the season was cut short. This year, the two-day format wasn't our strong point. However, our A-grade side fought hard to win through to both the finals of the T20 and the one-day formats. And then with our Scorcher players back, the Port Boys took out the T20 title in what was a very exciting and a seesawing game against a strong university side. I'm sure the players will agree that without the support of our loud, often cringeworthy yet enthusiastic supporters, we may not have got that game over the line. This win meant that we represented WA at the National Championships, and we were also able to take along some of our younger players along with an extended fan club to gain experience against the best teams from around Australia. I'd like to congratulate Sean Marsh on his outstanding season this year, leading Western Australia, and also for winning the Laurie Sewell Medal. And also to Jai Richardson for coming back from injury and winning the Scorchers Simon Catix Medal. We wish Jai a very quick recovery from his recent operation. A special mention also goes to Jake Carter, our club captain, for finally breaking through and making his debut for WA. And let's not forget Mitch Marsh, Ash Turner and Sammy Whiteman for their individual successes this season. This time last year we presented our designs for club rooms to the council. The need for new rooms was recognised and well received, and we received a letter of support from the project from the council. This is a long-term project, so there's a lot of work still to be done, and still, however, we are now on the radar and under consideration, and we will continue to work on this project with all parties. I'd like to thank Mornay de Kerker for his help as junior coordinator in previous seasons and also up until last Christmas. And also now, thanks to Chris Fell, who has ably taken over the reins from Mornay for the remainder of this year and beyond. There's no secret about what happens at 4:10 on a Saturday at Stevens Reserve. Our port ladies gather to produce what is considered the best afternoon teas in the comp. Where would we be without the help from Chelsea, Anthea, Linda Moore, Donna Jones, Jocelyn McPhee, Carolina McHale, Kim King and my wife Michelle. And as ever, thanks again to Sue Rogers, who does an amazing job as our A-grade scorer. Peppy, our curator, despite clay delivery delays, last year got the new nets up and running against the odds and ready for the season's opening. And I thank him for this and also for his recent hard work with further renovations to the west wicket and further levelling of the nets. To our coaching team, Joe, Kopi, Lewis and Shutz, thank you for your good work this year. Sadly, Braden Sutton announced his retirement last year. Thanks, Suts, for being part of our club in recent years and for captaining us so capably and mentoring our young side. Still hoping that there's still just one more season in you, mate. Lastly, it's my honour to present the Val O'Donnell Award on behalf of our committee. This award, voted by our committee members, is given to the person considered to have given the greatest contribution of his services or her services freely to our club over the last season. It is hardly fair that this can only be given to one person, as so many people put uncountable hours into helping our club. Both Chelsea and Chris Fell have endlessly worked at the club, stocking the bar, running the bar, coordinating the juniors, arranging functions, supporting others, and oh yes, of course, Chelsea's treasurer as well. Iggy, our vice president, second grade scorer, WACA delegate, part-time curator, he's always helping around the club. Mark, our ever reliable secretary, ticking all the boxes and grant applications to ensure we get the funds that we desperately need. They all deserve an award every year. Dale, working with the council to make sure all the maintenance gets done, just to mention a few. Needless to say, it was really close. However, our winner this year is someone who supports our great club in many ways. He's a sponsor, he employs young cricketers within his own business, and he also helps out in all aspects of coaching juniors and seniors as well as our cult side. And by the way, he's got good taste in red wine. Apart from being the senior bowling coach this year, Lewis Green also coached our cult side and took them to the semi-finals, and then after Christmas he also stepped up to fill the vacant shoes of the under-13 coach. A well-deserved award goes to someone who just says things as he sees it, which often cracks me up. Congratulations, Lewis. Well done, mate. And that's it from me. Go well, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Good evening, everyone. I must say it's humbling to receive the Val O'Donnell Volunteer Award, considering it's an award for doing something that I and so many others at the club just love every minute of. I am sure I speak for volunteers and all who contribute at Freo when I say that we are lucky to be involved in such a great club. It's a pleasure for all of us to do whatever we can, and I know I speak for so many coaches, managers, helpers and committee members. Thanks to all the players from the 13s all the way through to the seniors for at least pretending at times to listen to what I have to say. Thanks to Joey, Kopi, Schutz and all the junior coaches, assistants and managers for their support. After the passing of Jock O'Donnell earlier in the season, Kopi made a really heartfelt speech about the contribution of the O'Donnell family to our club. And I thank Brad and his family for this award and for all that they've ever done and for the legacy that continues at Freo. Thanks to Dave and the committee for their tireless work and for this award. Finally, thanks to Cheryl and my boys for listening to my endlessly boring stories after long cricket days. Stay safe, everyone. Hopefully see you soon for some form of pre-season. Cheers.
Congratulations, Lewis, and thanks for your words, Dave. You know, Greenie truly is a legend of the club, and we're lucky to have him. And winning this Val O'Donnell Award will give him something else to talk about, apart from his 100km/h sweatband swingers he used to send down from Melville.
Now we move on to what you've all come to see, round one of the Marsh Medal. Throughout the night, we've arranged a few special guests to join us to present the votes for the medal count. We just wanted to take the chance to thank everybody for making this a truly interactive experience and an interesting way of presenting the Marsh Medal.
And our first match of the season, sponsored by Prime West, is up against Rockin and Mandurah in a wet and wild affair. We're joined by Braden Sutton, a truly great of the club and the WACA competition more generally, to take us through a match against his former side. So what do we got for round one, Braden?
I've got the pleasure of doing round one. First grade, we played Rocky and Mandurah at Stevens Reserve. Scores were sent in. Scores were... Yes, you can eat the biscuit. Scores were... We had them 4 for 198. We chased them 3 down, with Tim Miles getting 4 for 24 off his 10 overs, and Whiteman's finishing with 90 not out off 115 balls. The 2s and 4s were unfortunately washed out down at Lark Hill, but the 3s got on with them having a comfortable win. Alec Green having a good all-round performance, supported by Benoit Gaffney with a 50 and Scanini with also a 4-for. 1 vote goes to Dan Kennedy, 2 votes Tim Miles, 3 votes Sam Whiteman.
Thanks, Salo. We just wanted to take this chance to again thank you for everything you've done for the FDCC and for the WACA competition. Also, we agree with the Prez, Mr. Davenport, not Mr. Trump, that you've got 1 more year left in him to win that A-grade flag. It's also great to see my dark horse Sammy Whiteman offered a flyer in round 1. What do you reckon?
Dark horse, he's my favourite. We'll check in with Shorty soon.
Yeah, okay.
Moving on to our next presentation. We're joined by club coach and former A-grade player number 540, Joey Piramalik, to present his coach's dress and the Graham Porter Best Clubman Award. Now, Joe's been head coach of the Port for a number of years now, and prior to that, I reckon he scored about 1 billion runs for the club. That's just in one third grade season. We've been extremely lucky to have Joe down at the club for so long, watching his hair go from a nice jet black to a silver fox kind of number that he has now.
The season that was, it's always, these things are really difficult at the start of the season to project how you're going to go. But I think when we look back, we can be well satisfied with what we've been able to achieve as a club. Our first grade winning the T20 final at the WACA was a great achievement, great spectacle, which also allowed us to represent West Australia in the T20 National Championship in Adelaide, which was a great experience for us all. Just to see that we're actually doing the right things compared to other states. Our A grade also runners up against Claremont in the 50 over competition. Unfortunately, couldn't get there against a very experienced Claremont team who won their 5th title as well. So that's well done to them. But we've got a lot to learn. We learned a lot from that game, and hopefully we can progress forward. Obviously disappointing not making the finals of the Red Ball cricket, which is obviously something that we've got to get better at. Our second grade qualified 5th this year. Also made the elimination finals, which unfortunately they lost. Our third grade qualified in 4th spot, also played in the elimination final. Unfortunately, I lost as well. Our fourth grade finishing in 13th spot, which was obviously disappointing from that point of view, but I think from what every week in and out play changes, I think Jack Rudrum captained that team very, very well. And it's obviously really, really difficult when there's always player shortages. The fourth grade always seem to get the raw end of the deal, but I must thank Jack for his efforts this year. The Colts this year were well coached by Lewis Green and captained by Bailey Holman. They made the semi-finals of the competition also, unfortunately to lose that. Club Championship, I think we finished in 11th spot, and Grant Eager tells me we're only probably two A-grade wins away from finishing in 5th spot, so the competition was really, really tight. So I think when we look back, we could be well satisfied with what we were able to achieve. Obviously, you know, we want to win a couple more flags, but we just got to work harder at it. A couple of thank yous. I'm going to forget someone, obviously, so I apologise now. To our scorer, Sue Rogers, who again comes in and week out and, you know, does the scoring for us. To the coaches, Wayne Copeland, Lewis Green, and Ryan Shuttleworth. To those guys, thank you very much for your efforts and time week in, week out. The amount of emails, telephone conversations we have on a weekly basis is phenomenal. And I think Braden Sutton has said on many occasions that our players are actually spoiled, and they are. So to those guys, thanks very much. To the committee, to Dave Davenport and his committee, mountain of work goes on behind the scenes a lot of players don't see. This is Dave's first year as president, and I think has done a wonderful job in getting some of his sort of intentions clear and some of his aspirations as well. So to him and the committee, thank you very much. Also to Mick Pumphrey, who took on the net captain role this year, probably the hardest job in the competition. And for Mick, his first year in, has done an outstanding role, and hopefully he can take that on for future years ahead. To Braden Sutton, who this year announced his retirement. I think Braden's been at the club now for 3-4 years. Has been a wonderful leader. I think played so many A-grade games. Has been an outstanding stalwart of club cricket. And I think for us to have him at our club from the leadership point of view has been fantastic. I remember speaking to Braden at the Gate Pub many years ago with Ashton Turner, and that was a real critical part of us being able to achieve what we've been able to achieve. To Grant Edgar and also Murray Armstrong, who have formed part of our chairman selectors role this year, a very, very difficult task, one that we probably need to review moving forward. But to those guys, thank you very, very much. And to lastly, not leastly, but to my family, who this year probably endured more dummy splits than not. I must thank them for their patience and for letting me do what I do, which I thoroughly enjoy.
So now the Graham Porter Best Clubman Award goes to the playing member of the club that has gone above and beyond in the off-field work at the club and is named after a man who's not only won a Marsh Medal but has led from the front as a person of FDCC.
I know what it's all about, mate. I won it last year. Take it away, Joe.
This one is always really difficult to award to. There are various things that we look at. It's not just myself from a coaching perspective, but also others have input into players or people that actually do extra stuff around the club. This year, the award goes to an individual who has just come out of a junior system. Probably one of our best trainers that we've had the whole year. He's always on time, trains really, really hard. He's always one of the last guys to come off the training track. Has done a whole heap around the club that I wasn't aware of. Being, assisting with the under-19s, or serving drinks, helping around the club. He's always the first one to present at the club when there was an SOS sent out to put the covers on or take the covers, put the covers on or covers off. And just general demeanour, and I think his attitude. And that award goes to Sam Greer for this year. So well done, Sam. It's great to see a young fella coming up through the grade system having so much endeavour around the club. And well done from our perspective.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank the club for the opportunity to be able to accept this award and thank the people who have been able to live stream this wind up to all our players, coaches and supporters. I would firstly like to acknowledge Graham Porter for his services to the Fremantle Cricket Club and how honoured I am to receive an award named after a great cricketer and a great person. I would also like to thank Joey, Kobe and the selection committee for giving me the opportunity to play A-grade this year, as I was excited and humbled to be able to play at the highest level. I'm not sure of the criteria that was required to win this award, but I'll hopefully not change the way I play, train, I'll also continue to do things that I'm required to do to help my teammates and club at all times. I've been fortunate enough to be around the club since a very young age, and I'm fully aware of how hard a lot of people work to make this club run as smoothly as it does. Thank you to all the people who decided this award. I'm very proud to win the Grand Porter Club of the Year award.
Thanks for the season wrap there, Joey, and thanks again for all your hard work this year. Also, big congratulations from us to Sammy Greer. Hope your family and your sisters are sitting down watching and celebrating with you tonight.
Next up is round 2 of the Marsh Medal, and this one's sponsored by BioLab. Round 2 saw us up against University at James Oval, which actually coincided with Jared's biennial trip to university.
Our presenter for round 2 is every punter's favourite Port boy, Mr. David Short. Shorty is a former premiership player at the Port and still helps many players each Saturday. It's not to do with cricket, it's to do with punting. He's also best on contender at every FDCC function, and we have managed to pull him away from a white can and help us present round 2.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. David Short with you, dual premiership player at Fremantle in seasons gone by. Absolute privilege to be a part of your special night tonight for the awards evening. I hope you're all doing really well in the off-season. Round 2 of the season, let's get into it. It saw all 4 grades properly commence their season against the Bookworms University Cricket Club. Our A graders lost to a far better team on the day as University piled on a massive total on a flat deck at James Oval, and the Port boys could not chase the score down. Jared McPhee bowled particularly well on a flat wicket, while Jade Carter made a classy score on the day. He got Freo off to a hot start in a 100-run partnership with Caden Cookson. Meanwhile, there were much stronger results in the lower grades, with the 2s, 3s and 4s all recording strong wins. There were a number of exceptional individual performances throughout the lower grades. However, it is impossible to go past FDCC veteran, the Bull, Geordie Buller, if you don't mind, making an explosive 106 for the second grade on the day. Well done to you, Geordie. What an outstanding performance. The clear standout performance of the round. I don't really need to say too much more about it, though. By all reports, Geordie has let everybody know all about that particular ton, and well done to you, Geordie Buller. Nonetheless, he deserves all the props that come his way off that big performance. Let's get into the votes for round 2 of the Marsh Medal. 1 vote, Caden Cookson. 2 votes, the son of a gun, Jared McPhee. And 3 votes, one of my favourite players down there at the Port, Jakey Carter.
Cheers, Shorty. I can't wait to catch up with you at the Leo and we'll talk all about that 100, eh?
Moving on from the toast to Jordan Buller, it was really good to see Jared Maxie McPhee get a few votes, and you know what, I take back what I said about him not doing well at uni.
So, round 3 of the Marsh Medal, sponsored by Byfields Wealth Management, saw us play at Perth Cricket Club, and we are joined... You there? You're up now? Yep. Okay, yep. We are joined all the way from the sunny beaches of Bondi for our next co-hosts. Chris Wood's record of Fremantle is unmatched, as he's won multiple Marsh Medals, captained the club for a number of years, and also has a number of impressive feats. Woody has been sorely missed over the last few years, more so at Benny's Bar and Bistro or Metropolis Fremantle than anywhere else. He's joined by his beautiful partner Claire Layton, an extremely impressive woman in her own right, and an inaugural member of the FDCC Sunset Scorchers.
Have we got you over there in Sydney, Woody and Claire?
So round 3 pitted the Port boys against the traditionally strong Perth Cricket Club. The Port boys lost the toss, and the Perth batted first on a good Fletcher Park wicket. Fremantle, however, bowled exceptionally well with the white ball and restricted Perth to 211 off their 50 overs. Ben Moore was the standout bowler, taking 2 for 19 off his 8.
FDCC started off their chase strongly and looked comfortable at 2 for 100 before losing 2 quick wickets to swing the momentum of the match. However, my mate Chris Davenport guided the boys home with a classy 76 and was well supported by young guns Caden Cookson 43 and Bailey Holman 37 in a 4-wicket victory.
Meanwhile, this being a Sunday fixture meant that our 3rd and 4th grade had byes and could enjoy an afternoon at the OBH. The Twos, however, continued their strong form with another close 3-wicket win. Sam Greer put his name in the selection lights with a strong all-round effort, taking 3 for 17 and making 49 off 38, including 2 massive bombs. Our English import from Durham County Cricket Club, Solbell, also contributed strongly with a classy 67 to set up the Fremantle run chase.
The votes for round 3 for the Marsh Medal are as follows. 1 vote, Caden Cookson. 2 votes, Bailey Holman. 3 votes, Chris Davenport.
Thanks guys, I hope everyone has fun.
Chris Davenport goes bang with 3 votes against a quality opposition there. And, you know, it could be the start of a run to victory. He is a Marsh Medal contender.
He is, yeah. But we now shift our attention to the 4th grade side and we're joined by the captain, Jack Rudrum.
Rudders did a great job in difficult circumstances for the Fours this year. He was taking over from a captain that led the side to greatness in back-to-back finals campaigns. And, you know, he led from the front with both the bat and the ball, bowling his, you know, right arm, 75 k's an hour sort of stuff. And he'll be briefly running us through the Fours season, telling us what happened.
Over to you, Rudders.
So, g'day, Port boys and Port girls. I hope everyone's doing all right. It does feel quite strange having to talk about cricket and reminisce, but I'm deeply honoured in having the opportunity to do so and really missing being around the club. Firstly, I'd like to formally thank the committee and the coaches for giving me this chance in the past season to lead the Fours. This club has been like a family for me for the last decade, and in particular this team for a good 7 years. I do understand to some that it might just be considered 4th grade. However, I've had the opportunity to play with some absolute club legends, Chopper, the late Brent Jarvis, and more recently Benny Gaffney, that have all had a really significant impact on my life, not only on the cricket field, but also off field as well. I've also very much enjoyed being able to pass on my knowledge from the time I've been playing cricket to the juniors coming through, and I hope the young boys have felt well integrated and just welcome. So prior to the first game, there was 3 things I really wanted to focus on as a group. Number 1 was to do the little things right, be as professional as possible, rock up to the game on time, wear your uniform correctly, back up in the field, talk in the field, try and stay part of the game even if you're not bowling or batting. Number 2, to enjoy playing and make the most of your hard work during pre-season and training. We'd all been training at that stage since the middle of winter, and I just feel like we deserve to make the most of every opportunity we get as we all work so hard and sacrifice so much. I think most importantly, at the same time, it's just important that you enjoy playing with your mates. So the last one, and obviously the most important one, was to wear the uniform with pride and give every game 100%, regardless of your ability. In doing so, this is to respect the players that have worn the baggy blue before you. So following on from the grand final last year, I knew it would be a significant challenge to back that up. And although we lost more games than we won, there were still so many aspects of the season and experiences that each player could learn from. One aspect in particular is to have the belief in ourselves and our abilities that we're never out of the game. This was particularly evident when the team was led by Ben Gaffney, and it's important for everyone that has the opportunity to play in the lower grades that the difference between winning many games is based on consistent and relentless effort. This ideology was exemplified particularly well in our last game before Christmas at Scarborough. With the other team at 3 for 180, needing 30 runs from 30 overs with 7 wickets, most wouldn't give us a chance. Through an absolutely outstanding spell from Jimmy Arthurson and one of the best direct run-outs you'll ever see, he single-handedly got us over the line by 1 run. I feel like a win like that not only gives us a certain confidence in our ability for the rest of the season, but also for the rest of our careers. Now for the individual awards. Well done to Paddy Pumphrey for winning the batting award. When he first came into the team this year, I think he'll be the first to admit that his technique wasn't up to scratch, and that was reflective of him batting number 7 and 8. Through sheer hard work, resilience and dedication, over the next couple of months, he soon quickly became the in-form batsman of the competition. In games where the team could barely scratch to 100, he was consistently making 60s and 70s. So after promoting him to opening, he again won us the game with another 50. And unfortunately for me, he was deservedly put up in the 3s. It's an absolute credit to him for winning the batting award in just over half a season. I feel like there's no bloke that worked harder than him. Well done also to the boys that took fifers. David King, 5 for 23 off 12. Mitchell Rudrum, 5 for 28 off 8. And Levi McKay, in his second game of senior cricket, took 6 for 21 off 11. Lastly, I just need to thank a couple of people. Thank you to my brother. Although it can be frustrating trying to get a message across to you, as you think you're never wrong, you were a fantastic help all season with some of the bowling changes and field placements that I always considered far too attacking. Thank you also for taking that absolute screamer in the last game to help me win another bowling award. Thank you to my dad. You constantly give me the belief and confidence that I could lead the team, consistently reassuring me that I was making the right calls in certain parts of play. Most importantly, thank you to the guys that I played with this year. I understand some of the decisions I made may have been different to what you believed was best for the team and your own individual performance. However, you're all really accommodating, respectful, and gave 100% each game. And that's all a captain can really ask for. It's you blokes that keep me coming back each year, and I love playing with you, and I love the people at the club. So thank you for listening.
I'd just like to thank all the fourth graders that played throughout the season, especially Jack, the captain, who always pushed me to do better, and all the opportunities he gave to me. I'm very thankful for that. This award means a lot to me, as it's my first year as a senior, and to be awarded with it is a massive confidence booster. I'd also like to give a special thanks to the coaches Joey and Kopi, always having time for me and helping me out, and also to Mick, who does a brilliant job giving me time in the nets. Thank you.
Congratulations to Jack Rudrum for presenting Jack Rudrum with the bowling award for 4th grade.
Well done, Jack Rudrum.
And also a big well done to Pump in his impressive first season for the Port in senior cricket.
Now, round 4 of the Marsh Medal, sponsored by Southern Cricket, brings us to the inaugural Chris Greenwood Cup, as the boys in navy blue came up against South Perth. We are lucky enough to be joined by a few of the beautiful FDCC Port girls to present the next round of the count. And in true Port girl style, they've gone all out with the production skills here.
I would too for Chris Greenwood.
Yeah.
Over to you girls.
Round 4 of the season saw Fremantle put in another strong performance against the South Perth Sky Blues and their arch nemesis Chris Greenwood. South Perth won the toss and batted first, but the Port boys restricted them only to 173, with Caden Yum Cookson starring with his left arm spinner, taking 3 wickets. He was well supported by all the bowling group, but particularly Tim Miles and Jared McPhee, who ended up taking 2 wickets each.
The batting group also worked together strongly on a tough surface as the boys passed the total with 4 wickets still in the shed. Steady contributions from Carter, Kennedy and Holman all set up the chase, but it was the efforts of Chris Davenport, 45, and Braden Sutton, 36 not out, that sealed the deal.
Meanwhile, the 2s and the 4s both suffered their first losses of the season, whilst the 3s remained unbeaten. The 3rd grade boys were particularly impressive, with Mel Athlete X King making an impressive 71 off the bat, whilst Robbie Holmes commenced an impressive run of form, taking the ball 4 from 15. The votes for round 4 of the Marsh Medal are as follows.
Serious stuff, ladies. Gearing up.
1 vote, Braden Sutton.
2 votes, Caden Yum Cookson.
3 votes, Chris J. Davenport.
What you think, you'll see
As we progress through the night, we are lucky enough to have a few of the main contenders for the Marsh Medal just to join us for a quick chat. We've selected a few of the short price favourites for the medal to give us a bit of an insight on their seasons and how they think they'll go for the rest of the count.
First up, we've got our club captain, Jake Carter. Jake, you got us there, mate? How's your night going? How have you been resting and relaxing in your off-season spent in social isolation?
Yeah, mate, night's going well. It's obviously nice to be able to reflect on the season that we've had. With all the craziness going on in the world at the moment, it's nice to remember how things were, but being able to get outside and hanging out with your mates, playing a bit of cricket on the weekend, so it's been good. Relaxing wise for me in isolation, it's been pretty simple. A lot of golf, a little bit of weights, and that's about it. Keeping ready for pre-season whenever that's going to roll around. It's a bit of a day-to-day thing at the moment, depending on what the government says is acceptable to do. So we're in a bit of limbo, but at the same time, it's nice to have a relax and reset.
So let's get to the serious stuff, Jakey. You were a well-deserving winner of the Marsh Medal last season. How do you compare your performance from last season to this one? Do you think your chance of going back-to-back since, for the first time, I think it would be, since the great Tim Armstrong back in 2013-14?
Yeah, so obviously winning the Marsh Medal last year, it was a great honour and something I'm extremely proud of. In terms of how I'm going to go this year, performance-wise, I was a lot better with the bat, more consistent this year, and probably the opposite with the ball, didn't bowl as much or as well. So in terms of going back-to-back for me, I think it's going to be quite difficult, especially when we've got guys like Cookie and Davo stepping up with the ball and obviously contributing quite well with the bat. So it'll be interesting to see how the count goes, but I think it's going to be a tough time going back-to-back this year.
Now, Jake, clearly your game's gone to another level this year with a Sheffield Shield debut under the belt. How did you find your experience at the next level, and what was the biggest difference going from A grade to Sheffield Shield?
Absolutely. Making my debut for WA in Shield cricket is something I'm, again, extremely proud of, and having Sean present me my cap was also really special with him being part of the port. So it's something that I'll never forget for sure. In terms of what I learned at the next level, I suppose the biggest difference is just the pressure. It's relentless. It doesn't let up. Bowlers keep coming. Batters keep digging in. So it's a real long-term battle. It takes 4 days to win a game of cricket. You won't win it in a session, and not many games of cricket don't come down to the last session, and that's what we found in the back half of the Shield season. So that would be the biggest difference. No one really lets up for an extended period of time. It's continued pressure, and it keeps mounting and mounting.
You're obviously involved in some great moments on and off the field at Fremantle this season, but what moment sticks out most memorable to you?
Yeah, of course, there's always some great on and off field moments every season at the Port, and one especially for me this year was definitely the A grade T20 flag. The way we won it, and the support crew that was on the boundary giving it to the uni crowd and chanting us on the whole time is something that I'll definitely remember for a long time. And the way Braden Gilly Sutton brought it home in that demoralising second last over, it was something that you couldn't write a script better than that. So it's something I really enjoyed, and it's definitely something that the boys worked really hard for, and it was well deserved as well.
Alright, last one before we get back to the count. How did you find the captaincy experience in your first full season in charge? Did you notice any significant improvements as the season went on?
Yeah, captaincy, it's a tough gig, but it's also something I find incredibly rewarding. I really enjoyed it this year. You do ride the highs and lows a bit harder than everyone else because I suppose you feel it's your responsibility, win, lose or draw, what happens throughout the game. So that was a new challenge for me, but I think we showed improvement throughout the whole season, and if we keep improving at the rate we have over the last few seasons and moving forward, I think it's not long until we piece it together and we win a lot more silverware. So it's exciting times ahead for the Port, and something I'm looking forward to.
Well, thanks, Jake, and all the best for the rest of the count. Hopefully we can see the Jake Carter name added to the list of back-to-back Marsh medalists. It's a list that includes the likes of Chris Wood, Jamie Heath, Graham Porter and Sean Irvine.
Yeah, but now we're going to move on to round 5 of the Marsh Medal count, which is proudly sponsored by BatFast, a unique technology that allows you to simulate real match conditions. Now, the 5th round of the season saw us come up against the mighty Claremont Nedland Cricket Club in an important fixture for all grades.
And now we're truly lucky to be joined by an all-time great of the West Australian cricket community for the presentation of the round 5 votes. Freo cap number 473, Australian cap number 293, 14 games for the East Freo Sharks to go along with all of that. The man is an absolute legend of a bloke, and his stories are almost as good as his 9 Test centuries playing for Australia.
Okay, welcome to round 5 of the Marsh Medal. As you can see there, boys, I've tried to get the best backdrop I possibly could. That's also the reason for the sunnies, but no idea why I've got this tracksuit on as I'm about to go for a swim. In the first grade, they came up against, the Port side came up against probably the benchmark team in the competition, in particular in the 2-day comp in Claremont Nedlands. After having won the toss and what was reputedly said by Pepe that it was an outstanding batting wicket, the Port boys got off to a great start, an opening partnership of in excess of 100, with Jake Carter making 70 and Sam Whiteman 40 odd. But then there was total capitulation by the middle order. Well done to Davo and the boys, with the side being bowled out for 222. The following week, after a bit of rain around the place throughout the week, it was a very, very close, even match. But Claremont Nedlands just getting over the line and beating the Fremantle side by 1 run. The outstanding bowler of the day was Tim Miles, who struck out 5 Claremont Nedlands batsmen throughout the day. In the seconds, day 1, we saw Fremantle make 404, an outstanding effort. Matt McHale making 100, and reputedly Ben Moore sledging his way to 95 and upsetting everyone within the Claremont Nedlands camp. Next week, with a heap of rain around and the Claremont Nedlands guys not too keen to try and chase down that total, surprisingly the game didn't get underway due to wet weather. In the thirds, another outstanding performance, an outright result against Claremont Nedlands. We saw Robbie Holmes take 8 wickets over the couple of days, and Matt Vaughan, the in-form Matt Vaughan, haven't we been waiting for a while to say that, making 80 not out. So a great performance by the thirds. In the fourths, reputedly Claremont Nedlands had a big night at the Claremont Hotel on the Friday evening and were bowled out for under 70 or 65, I think was the actual score. So a very easy win for the Fremantle side. The votes for round 5 in the Marsh Medal: 1 vote to Caden Cookson, 2 votes to Tim Miles for his 5 wickets, and 3 votes to Jake Carter for his 70. Should have gone on with it, made 100, and no doubt Fremantle would have won the match. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for your time tonight, Woody. And it's good to see the vote count heating up with joint leaders at the moment, Chris Davenport and Jake Carter.
Yeah, so next up we have the junior coordinator's address from one of the best blokes you'll ever meet, Mr. Chris Fell. This is Felly's first year in the junior coordinator's position, and he's embraced the job from day one after unexpectedly being thrown into the role.
Chris truly is a jack of all trades and excels at everything he does, but I heard he's no good at pool.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Over to you, Felly.
Thanks, boys. And you're right, Geordie, I really do need to work on my pool game. I hope you're all well and enjoying the evening so far. And just quietly, how good's the catering? I had the chicken pie earlier, it was delicious. Anyway, a little bit about the juniors. After the 14s won the premiership last year, I guess it's a little bit disappointing that none of our junior teams made finals this year. Unfortunately, the 15s missed out by just 1 point at the end of the season from making finals. And given that 2 of their first 3 games were abandoned due to bad weather, things could have ended up a lot differently. 13s, 14s and 17s found wins hard to come by, but there was lots and lots of improvement, especially within the 13s and 14s, so they'll be looking forward to next season. And we've got a good group of 17s that are primed and ready to go for senior cricket next year. Our junior awards night had to be cancelled earlier on due to COVID-19, so we had all of our award winners' families notified and we had their trophies sent out to them. So congratulations to those guys. Our Junior Cricketer of the Year award went to Caleb Smith. Caleb had a fantastic year with both batting the ball in the 15s. Caleb also played 5 senior games for the club this year and was the only junior player to score a century this year in the juniors when he made 109 in round 3. So well done to Caleb. We have 6 junior players play senior cricket this year, and I just want to make mention of one especially, and that's Levi McKay. Levi played 5 senior games, and in 2 of those games he took 5 wicket hauls. Levi took 6 for 21 in a 4th grade game, and then took 5 for 33 in the elimination final that he played in the 3rd grade game. So well done, Levi. Just a few thanks from me. I'd like to thank all of our junior coaches, assistant coaches, our wonderful team managers, scorers, and all of the other parents that helped out. Also want to thank senior coaches, Joey, Kopi, Schutz and Lewis Green for their input during the season, and especially Lewis Green when he put his hand up to take on the 13s coaching role halfway through the year. Also want to just make mention of the time that Mornay DeCoca spent at the club. Mornay was at the club for 4.5 years, and for a lot of that time he took on the junior coordinator role after Bruce Rudram finished up. Mornay put in a lot of hard work and a lot of long hours in the role, so thanks very much Mornay, your hard work was really appreciated by the club. That's pretty much it for me. Really excited for next year, especially working with the juniors, but for now I'm looking forward to see who takes out the Marsh Medal. My money's on Davo, but we'll just have to wait and see. Back to you, Benoit and Geordie.
Great job as always, Philly, and we can't wait to see the next crop of young talent rise into the senior ranks.
Now, taking us through round 6 of the Marsh Medal against Midland Guildford are the 2 brothers from sunny Somerset whose reputation and accolades are part of Freo folklore. On one hand, we have Tom Abel, who is the inaugural Marsh Medalist when it changed its name, current Somerset County captain, incredible role model to everybody around him, his beautiful smile and charming English accent, and did I mention he's played for the England Lions this year against Australia A.
And then on the other hand we have Will Abel, whose accolades during his time in Australia also speak for themselves. Will got lost on his first night, had no charge on his phone, no money, and took a cop car home. And then who could forget the night that he was a bit cold, so he swapped his phone for a jumper. And that's not even taking into account Will's on-field performances. In one season for the Port, he piled on a whopping 140 runs with a top score of 30 and an average of 10.77.
No, but Benoit, the question is, right, if you had to choose one Abel on your team, who would you pick?
Well, I've only played with Will, so I'll go with what I know and I'll stick with him.
Well, yeah, same. Yeah, of course. Over to you, boys.
Good evening, everyone from sunny Taunton. Hope you're all keeping safe and well, having a great evening. Huge privilege for us to be asked to speak on the Marsh Medal this evening.
So, round 6 of the season saw the Port Boys heading out to Monkeytown to take on Midland and Guildford in their second 2-day fixture. Fremantle won the toss on an absolute flatty in 40 degrees and cashed an incredibly daunting score of 369 for 9 off their 90 overs.
Our English import and newly self-proclaimed King of the Port, Eddie Byram, repaid a bit of the club's faith in him after a few visa complications by notching up a beautiful 150. the Somerset Slug. I think he scored more runs in this innings than the two of us combined in our time at the club. So well done, Eddie. And his stay at the crease lasted just under 6 hours in 40-degree heat. He was ably supported by Jake Carter, who notched up 93 as the two put on 186 for the second wicket.
Fremantle's score proved far too many for Midland and Guildford, as surprisingly Benoit stole the show, with the ball taking 4 for 24 in an even hotter conditions than the week before.
Meanwhile, in the second grade, the boys tragically lost out after securing the first innings points. Alec Green and Sam Greer gallant in this disappointing loss, both contributing with bat and ball. In the third grade, unfortunately, they recorded their first loss of the season. Jake Wiley, outstanding all round in this tight tussle, while the fours also had a loss.
The votes for round 6 for the Marsh Medal are as follows. 1 vote, Benoit.
2 votes, Jake Carter.
3 votes, Eddie Byron.
Have a good night.
Cheers.
We're now 6 rounds into the Marsh Medal, Benoit, and what an exciting count it's been so far.
I couldn't agree more, Jordan. I reckon we've got a really tight finish in store.
But now to mix it up a little bit, we've got a video package for the top 5 highlights of the season. And there were some amazing moments this year, but how could we forget the hundreds from Whitey, DK, Eddie and Jake. So please grab another beverage, sit back and enjoy.
Do you reckon we're in it at all?
Well, I made 100, but what did you do?
Yeah, good point.
up your mind. I really wanna try. Take a little time, open up your mind. Hey, pretty girl, I've been thinking about you all day, all night. Hey, pretty girl, I've been thinking about you all day, all night. Hey, pretty girl, I've been thinking about you all day, all night.
Well, guys, we're going to have a 5-minute break here and grab a drink, and we'll see you back then.
Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers, boy. Four minutes.
Three minutes to go.
2 minutes to go.
One minute to go. Oh, welcome back to the count, ladies and gentlemen, after that little hydration break. And how good was that top 5 moments video? I'm still very surprised none of my gritty 20-run innings made it though.
I'm not. Moving on. Now we're into the 3rd grade captain's address, and this fella needs no introduction.
Oh, really? Why is that, mate?
That's me.
Oh, cool.
Hi, it's Ben again, here to take you through the 3rd grade season for 2019-2020. We started with a bang in round 1, winning against Rockingham Mandurah in a rain-affected match. It was an exciting start to the season for a team that hadn't made the finals since 2011-2012, when coaches Joey and Kopi were still playing for the Threes. Unfortunately, after that game, I was dropped to the 2s and wasn't back until round 7. But a big thanks to Mel and Il King and Chris Canini for leading the ship while I was away, and Matt Vaughan for his support throughout the whole season. After making the finals, it was an extremely unfortunate way to go out, awaiting a semi-final before the coronavirus stopped everything. We dropped a couple of games throughout the season that cost us a better ladder position, and as we always see with finals, that's the big thing that counts because anything can happen. A few thank yous for the season. Firstly, thanks again to Mel and Chris for stepping in when I was away and skippering the side. Did an absolutely stellar job, boys, and I definitely felt a bit sheepish every time I came back and took the reins. So very well done, boys, and much deserved finals appearance. Secondly, to all the coaches, to Joey, Copes, Shutzy, Greenie, thanks again for all your support throughout the year. Week in, week out, can count on you blokes for anything, so it's much appreciated. Thanks to all the volunteers down at the club, all the ladies making the lunches every Saturday, the afternoon teas, absolutely outstanding. That's why we play cricket, really. Ask any of the boys, that's right up there with one of the main reasons. To the Fells, to Chelsea and Philly, thanks so much for your support again. Anything off field, it's much appreciated and doesn't go unnoticed, and you're just both absolute legends, so thanks again. And to who else? To Annie sorry for Annie letting me play again another season. Hopefully she lets me play next season as well, so we'll look forward to that. And with the thank yous out of the way, let's get to the awards then. So first up, we've got fifers, and in round 5, Robbie Holmes took 5 for 25 against Claremont Nedlands. Well done, Rob. You know, obviously a few blokes took a few catches off you that day, so that's always good, isn't it? Well bowled, mate. Jacob Headland, 5 for 33 against Subi Florid in round 13. Well done, big fella. I'm sure you crashed a few stumps that day and nicked a few blokes off, so well done. And last but definitely not least is young Levi McKay with 5 for 33 in the elimination final against Scarborough. Really big signs for things to come with that young kid. Absolutely bowled the house down, and for a bloke that young to bowl that well in such a big game is really exciting for the club, so well done, Levi. But the bowling award this year with 23 wickets at 14.26 is Jacob Headland. So again, well done, mate. You've been busting down these lower grades for a couple of seasons, absolutely dominating. So next season's definitely the time for you to go to the next level, I reckon. Definitely ready for it, and I'm excited to see what next season holds for you. But well done on the bowling award this year, mate. And the batting award, similar situation. With 302 runs at a healthy average of 37.75, Lockie Odie. So again, same thing, mate. You've been crashing down the door in the lower grades for a couple of seasons. Got a couple of really solid seasons behind you, and you're ready, I reckon, to start pushing up the grades, mate. So absolutely outstanding seasons to both of you. Well done to all the boys, and can't wait to see you all at pre-season. Have a good night tonight, and stay safe, and we'll see you at Southern Cricket in the pre-season. Thanks, boys.
Hey guys, very grateful to be receiving the 3rd grade batting award this year. Firstly, I'd just like to thank Joe, Kopi, all the coaches for all their hard work and support throughout the season. I'd also like to thank the Threes boys for a great season. Making finals was a great achievement, and I definitely think we can go better next year. I'd also like to say a quick thanks to everyone who helped put together this virtual wind-up. It's nice that we can get a conclusion to the season, even though we can't see each other. And yeah, looking forward to catching up with everyone next season.
It's an honour to win this award. Thanks to all the coaches and teammates who helped me throughout the season, and hopefully I can replicate this in a higher grade next year.
Well, that was alright, wasn't it?
Right. Anyway, we move on to round 7 of the Marsh Medal, which sees us square off against Willetton in a fixture sponsored by Prime West. And don't we have a famous FDCC father-son duo floating about to present this one?
That's right, Jordan. We've got our A-grade opening bowler and his father, the reigning Port Boy of the Year. He knows how to turn a crowd on. We've got Zach and Jason Ferris.
Now, let's see if the round review is as entertaining as Jason's strip show earlier this year.
Hi, I'm Zach Ferris, and welcome to Burrendar Reserve. Today, we have Willetton taking on Fremantle in what is going to be an epic clash. Willetton have many ins, being Simon Mackin, Aaron Hardy, and Darcy Short, while Freo have a few ins of their own. Sean Marsh, Ashton Turner, and Jake Carter all reporting back from state duty. It's a lovely day here at Burrendar, and it's going to be an awesome experience for all involved. Let's go see what happens, shall we? We're out in the middle here with the two captains for the toss. Fremantle have won the toss and have elected to bat on what looks to be a very tricky wicket. First to open the batting for Freo was Whitey and Carter, who got off to a relatively good start with a few good shots. But sadly, Whitey had to go to the speedster Simon Mackin. Next to the crease was Sean Marsh, who made an invaluable 42, before he fell victim to Simon Mackin once again. Then came Ashton Turner, who made the highest score of the innings of a great 49, before he fell victim to Darcy Short when he got hit in front of square leg. Suts and Cookie came and went, adding 60 valuable runs to the team's total, before Morey came in to have a bat. Morey decided to run down the wicket, but his turning circle was like the 106 on Canning Highway. He just couldn't get back. Freo ended up with a total of 9 for 256, which probably wasn't enough. However, they were confident with the bowling lineup they had. They could defend it. Although we were only 9 down, there was a scoring error, and Chris Cookson was the man to take it up with Sue. Unfortunately, that didn't go down too well, as Chris spent 6 weeks in hospital. Freo started well with the ball, having Willerton 2 for 8, with Ferris taking 2 wickets in 2 balls. Ferris opened the bowling for Freo off his long run. Hazard! Willerton looked in control as they built a 109-run partnership. Caden Cookson came on to bowl with his left-arm chuckers. Cookson with one of the run-outs of the season. Willerton, with 5 wickets in hand and 20 runs to get, ended up losing 5 for 8, thanks to Caden Cookson and Zach Ferris. Alright, let's go. Now, for some special comments from club legend Murray Armstrong. Murray, how do you think Chris Davenport went in this game?
Couldn't hit one out of a paper bag.
Right on there, Murray. Murray, what did you think about Caden Cookson's epic bowling performance?
Bowled too short, all day.
Think that's a bit harsh there, Muzz, but fair enough. And finally, how'd the syndicate go this week?
I'm the only one keeping those bastards alive. None of them know what they're doing.
That is true. Thank you, Muzz, for your time. In other games around the grounds, 2s recorded a loss, 4s recorded a loss, while 3s was led by Jack Kamada to a 1-wicket win. The votes for the Marsh Medal this round: 1 vote, A. Turner; 2 votes, Z. Ferris; 3 votes, Chris Cookson.
Thanks once again, Jason and Zach. Awesome work. We also failed to mention that our introduction that Zach has broken an FDCC first grade record that has stood since Phil Chopper Alvaro was at the peak of his powers.
And what was that?
Least runs scored by a player in a whole season of first grade cricket, with 5 runs scored for the whole year. And the most amazing part of that was Zach had 2 of those runs in his very last innings.
Mate, don't worry, Zach, it happens. I feel like your breakout's just around the corner.
But now, we move on to something just as low as Zach's batting average, the top 5 lowlights of the 2019-20 season. We've got one of our interns to sort through the hundreds of hours of footage from the season to find the funniest moments of the year.
And what a list it is. I just really hope that my multiple drop catches off Robbie Holmes at slip don't make it in.
Well, let's find out. Sit back and enjoy.
Are they in there?
The writing's on the wall, it takes its time. You're better off on someone else's mind. Don't believe the hype, even when it's right. And I won't hold my breath overnight. Shine the light up to my face, and I'll come on back home. I'll come home. and I will come on back home. I'll come home. Shine the light up to my face, and I will come on back home. I'll come home. Oh, shine the light up to my face, and I will come on back. I'll come home. Shine the light up to my face, and I will come on back, back home.
Wow. Now that brings back some sad and hilarious moments, doesn't it? Still can't get over that Melville Cricket Club tailender leaving one on his box.
Gets ya. Oh well. Bringing us into round 8 is one of the loveliest people I've ever met. A woman who's put on all the food and drink for you tonight and throughout the season, whilst also putting a smile on all of our faces.
Yeah. Look, you may have noticed that we've taken our chances to joke about all our presenters tonight, but however, we couldn't really speak any higher about this wonderful treasurer, bartender, chef, fangirl, part-time coach, and full-time mum.
That's right. Bringing in round 8 is FDCC and ABBA's #1 fan, Chelsea Fell.
Hey everyone, hope you're well and enjoying the evening so far. Round 8 saw first grade at home against eventual club champion Scarborough. The visitors won the toss and elected to have a bat. The Port boys bowled beautifully, restricting them to 183 runs, and Caden Cookson superb performance to pick up 7 wickets. Stumps on day 1 were in a strong position, 2 for 70 in the chase, however didn't continue into week 2. We're all out for 142. Scarborough ended up taking the win by 41 runs. The Twos travelled to Abbott Park and came away with the win. Strong performances from Bailey Holman, 71, and Guy Barnes, 41 not out. Well done boys. The 3s and 4s both also had wins, albeit in different fashion. The 3s continued their dominant start to the season. Mel O'Neill King piled on 79 runs and Chris Scanini took 4 for 10. The 4s had a heroic 1-wicket victory in a game that showed the old boys still got it. A beautifully compiled 58 by Stephen Shuttleworth. Okay, so to the votes for the Marsh Medal round 8. 1 vote, Eddie Byron. 2 votes, Ben Moore. And 3 votes, Caden Cookson. Well done, Cookie. Okay, that's it from me tonight. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the night. Please stay safe, take care of each other, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.
move on to another interview with one of the favourites for tonight's Marsh Medal. We are joined by a man who looks and polls like Scott Pendlebury. So Chris Davenport, right, has had a fantastic all-round season and he's taken his game to a new level. And I think we're joined with Chris here via video link.
Oh yeah, I think we are. Chris, it's good to have you on board here tonight. You thirsty? How are the nerves feeling, mate? And who are you sitting there watching the Marsh Medal with?
Hey guys, yeah, just at home watching it with my lovely girlfriend Amy. The nerves are pretty good. Just looking forward to seeing how the count goes and also all the highlight packages that have been put up for the year. So yeah, have a good night.
Well, firstly, congratulations on what was a terrific season for yourself, where you showed the maturity and consistency with the bat and really some drastic improvement with the ball too. How would you rate your season on a personal level though? Do you really rate your chances to win the Marsh?
Yeah, so my year is probably the most consistent I've had so far in my career with Freo, so that's something I'm really happy with. I felt like I was able to, you know, make a lot of nice contributions to the team and help us get a few wins on the board. In terms of the medal count tonight, I'm not holding particularly high expectations. We had a lot of, you know, individually strong performances from a lot of good players this year, you know, particularly Catering with the ball, and then the likes of Eddie, Jake and Whitey with the bats. So if it was up to me, I'd probably have my money on Eddie or Jake to take out the count tonight.
Now Chris, look, it's been a case of close but no cigar for you before. What would it mean to win one tonight?
Yeah, so winning the Marsh Medal would be absolutely incredible and definitely something you'd look back at the end of your career with a lot of pride. You know, I don't really set out, or I don't think anyone sets out at the beginning of the year trying to win a best and fairest or winning a Marsh Medal, but it would give me a lot of personal sort of satisfaction knowing that I was able to contribute quite strongly throughout for a whole season for the club.
Davo, you've had a number of excellent games this year on a personal level. Does one innings or one match stand out as your best for the season? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so one innings that stood out for me this year was against Gosnells in a two-day game at Fremantle. We got sent into bat on a pretty green wicket, and I sort of just came in just after lunch and sort of managed to sort of grind it out for the last two sessions to be not out at the end of the day. It wasn't a particularly flashy innings by any means, but I got a lot of self-belief out of it and doing it tough for the team. It helped that it was Ladies' Day and there was a bit of extra incentive to do well.
Let's move on to some team performances here, and the A-grade side had a number of high-level performances this year, but did any stand out for you?
I think it's pretty hard to go past our 2020 games this year. The semi-final at Subi Floreat, when Eddie hit that six on the second last ball in the super over was incredible, but then it's pretty hard to beat, to be honest. The final at the WACA, it was probably the best game I've ever played in. It was amazingly high quality, and you know, that was just an awesome game to win for the club.
Alright, champion. Last question, then we'll let you get back to your glass of red wine. You're known to enjoy a few drinks and a good night out on the town. Do you have any off-field highlights for the season? In particular, we've heard rumours of one big night in Adelaide at the T20 Championships.
Yeah, so the Adelaide trip was awesome. Had a couple of great nights out at the boys, and a lot of them came out of their shell, notably Caden Cookson. Probably got the 3 votes for that trip. Another lesser known off-field highlight for me was after the Claremont one-day final that unfortunately lost. But that evening we were treated to Eddie transforming from Eddie Byram into Inspector Clouseau, and that he proceeded to quote the entire Pink Panther movie for the rest of the night. So that was a personal highlight for me.
Well, thanks for your time, Chris, and good luck for the rest of the night. It would be awesome to see you win the Marsh Medal for the first time.
But before we take a short ad break, we thought we'd have another look at the standings for the Marsh Medal at Christmas time. Caden Cookson is currently leading on 11 votes, 3 votes ahead of Captain Courageous Jay Carter. Further back from the 2 leaders is Chris Davenport on 6 votes, and Eddie Byram and Tim Miles on 4 votes each. Who do you think is going to win the Marsh Medal from here? Please tweet, comment, hashtag Marsh Medal, and for all your social media accounts on who you think will take home the chocolates.
Well, mate, it's close, but if I was a betting man, I'd be on Jake Carter. He's got a pretty good run of form to come home.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts on Dark Horse, say, the Velvet King, Jared McPhee, for example?
I reckon your money's better spent betting on anything else.
Yeah, strong but fair statement there, Benoit. On that note, we'll take a little 5-minute intermission to everyone refresh their batteries, and we'll see you on the other side. Four minutes to go.
Three minutes to go.
Two minutes to go.
One minute to go. Alright, well, welcome back to the 2019-2020 Marsh Medal. As we draw closer to the announcement of the winner, we're going to welcome you back with another selection of some highlights, and this time it's our batsmen doing the talking.
Oh God, I love batting so much, Benoit.
Yeah, alright, Copes.
You will too, mate, after you see the top 10 shots of the season.
I'm falling off again, but I know I'm not your man. I find it hard to stand when I'm on my own. So just carry on, drift onto the storm. I'm losing all my fight, it's over. Never know, throw through the door, I've read that I've lost another. Oh, 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 oh. But I'm all alone again. Dreaming on some distant land. Find it out, oh, my consciousness. And I'm on my home. Oh, 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 yeah. Sometimes carry on, drift onto the snow.
Oh, no surprises there. Sutto's shot was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
But I was actually certain that number one was going to be a Jordan Ball flick off the hip. But no? No. Not for you. Anyway, it's time to move on to the next round of the Marsh Medal. And presenting round 9 against the Basie Bears are the sponsors of these big fellas.
I'm not sure about that, mate. For round 9, we've got the head honcho of Athlete X. He's a committee member, lower grade batsman, feared net bowler, and all-round great bloke and mentor to a lot of young Freo players.
Evening all, hope everyone's healthy and strong. I'm going to bring to you round 9 of the Port Boys season. Alrighty, round 9 saw Fremantle travel to Bayswater Morley to match up against the Bears. The Port Boys won the toss and on a beautiful batting surface elected to bat. This decision proved to be fruitful as the boys piled on 4 for 295 off their 50 overs. The star of the day was the great Sam Whiteman, who carried his bat for a classy 144 off just 135 balls. He was well supported by Chris Davenport, Daniel Kennedy and Braden Sutton, who helped lift the Port Boys to a strong total. Fremantle's score proved a bit too much for the Bayswater lads as they were restricted to 232. Ben Moore and Chris Davenport, the best contributors, as they each picked up 3 wickets. In the 2nd, 3rd and 4th grade, all boys recorded disappointing losses in their fixtures. The most notable performers were Ryan Fox and Patrick Pumphrey, who scored 90 and 67 respectively. How could we forget though, there was an eye-catching 4 for 21 from yours truly. 3 votes for round 9, we'll get to that after. 1 vote to Ben Moore, 2 votes to Chris Davenport and 3 votes to the Sam Whiteman. Have a good night, team.
Oh, things are really tightening up the top of the leaderboard, and my boy Sammy Whiteman continues to press every time he plays for the Port Boys, doesn't he?
He sure does. But now we're going to move on to the second grade captain address, and to deliver it is Freo's perfect man, Mr. Matty McHale.
Matt really is our real life Harvey Specter, as he wins in the courtroom during the week and then wins on field every Saturday. All while guaranteeing his rig-based selection each week in a very similar manner to Marcus Stoinis.
A bit like yourself, mate. Anyway, he's done a very good job with our second grade side this year.
Let's hear about the boys' efforts, Matty.
Good evening to all life members, committee members, coaches, players and family of the Fremantle District Cricket Club watching the Marsh Medal remotely tonight. I trust everyone is staying safe during these trying times. The 2019-2020 WACA second grade season saw 26 different players represent the Fremantle District Cricket Club across the 15 home and away fixtures. With season results of 7 wins, 3 draws and 5 losses, our second grade side finished 5th on the ladder after the home and away season for the second consecutive year and qualified to play finals cricket, which is a credit to the continued development of player depth at the club. Realistically, the final ladder position of our second grade side was hindered by the 3 drawn games suffered due to the weather, one of which was against the bottom side Rockingham Mandurah without a ball being bowled, and the other 2 against Claremont Nedlands and Joondalup respectively, with Fremantle in commanding positions and likely to take full points for either a win or outright win against either opponents. Unfortunately, our 5th place finish after the home and away season wasn't reflective of the talent of the second grade group on paper and could have easily been improved to a 2nd or 3rd place qualification throughout the finals with the additional points expected from the drawn games. Our second grade side played Scarborough in a sudden death fixture in the first round of the finals, which saw Scarborough post 284 runs on a very flat wicket. In response, our second grade side fell short of the target despite a middle to late order fight back to score 210 runs and ultimately be eliminated from the final series before the season was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In many respects, the match summary of our final summarised the pattern of play for our second grade side throughout the season. Despite regular challenges with the bat throughout the season, the 2019-2020 season saw continued development in the competitive spirit and resilience of our second grade side, particularly with the ball. The continued development of the second grade bowling group and the emergence of players like Sam Greer, Alex Chow and Robbie Holmes saw the second grade bowling group form one of the most potent and economical attacks in the competition, particularly when complemented by senior players such as Elijah Turriff-Smith and Alec Green. Both Sam and Alex were rewarded for their standout performances during the season to earn A-grade debuts and selection, and both boys performed very strongly at that level to again demonstrate the development of the young talent at the club. Guy Barnes was also awarded A-grade selection for the first time during the 2019-2020 season on the back of another consistent year with the bat and the gloves, and proved that he too is ready to play at the A-grade level. 3 players earned second grade selection for the first time during the 2019-2020 season, namely Solomon Bell as an overseas player from Durham, Ryan Fox and Chris Zanini. With the bat, the future is also very bright at Fremantle, with Bailey Holman regularly earning A-grade selection and typically dominating opposition bowling attacks upon return to second grade. The season also saw further development from Jack Kamada and Hudson Toomey, who both played match-defining innings throughout the season, particularly Hudson, who finished with several important and consistent innings. With further maturation and continued hard work, I have no doubt the coming season will see many of this year's second grade players transition into regular A-grade players for the club. In terms of individual awards, I would like to congratulate Alex Chow as the winner of the second grade bowling award. Alex Chow took 28 wickets at an average of 13, including 2 5-wicket innings, the first against Gosnells, where Alex had figures of 5 for 19 off 12 overs, and secondly against Joondalup, where Alex had figures of 5 for 13 off 13 overs. I would also like to congratulate Sam Greer for his 5-wicket innings against Midland Guildford, where Sam had figures of 5 for 63 off 14 overs. The batting award for the 2019-2020 season is awarded to Matthew McHale for 360 runs at an average of 30, including an innings of 111 against Claremont Nedlands. I would also like to congratulate Jordan Buller for his innings of 106 against University. I would also like to thank the coaches for their efforts throughout the season, particularly to Kopi and to Greenie for their support on match days. A big thank you also to Eggy for everything you continue to do at the club and for scoring and assisting when necessary for home games and on match days generally. Also to Mark Beecroft, thank you for all you do in your assistance in scoring and lodging the captain's report for me each week. Also to my mum, Kim King and Don Campriali for organising afternoon tea for each home grade for the second and the fourth grade players. Your efforts are very much appreciated, particularly by the second grade playing group. Once again, congratulations to everyone on the 2019-2020 season. Thank you.
Hey everyone, first of all, I'm absolutely honoured to win the second grade bowling award this year. Considering how the first half of the year went for myself, I'm very surprised I'm in the position to win this award. I'd like to thank all my teammates throughout the year, particularly the rest of the bowling group, the captains and twos this year, Matt McHale, Ben Moore and Jordan Buller. I'd like to thank Kopi for his help on game days and Lewis Green as well, particularly on the bowling side of things. It's been a great year for the Port and hopefully we can get back to playing cricket soon. Cheers.
Obviously we don't play to win individual awards, but I certainly appreciate the recognition of my season's work in being announced as the second grade batting award winner for the 2019-2020 season. I would like to pass on my thanks to my support network, chiefly to my parents and Elizabeth, for riding the highs and the lows and giving up their time on the weekends to come and watch me play. A big thank you also to Shutzi and Kopi for all that you do for me in terms of batting, particularly for all of the discussions, the balls thrown, and obviously for the shoulder pain that I've caused for this season. And lastly, to my personal coach, Brett Johnson, your ongoing support and guidance is very much appreciated. Thank you.
Well, thanks once again, Matt, and congratulations on winning the batting award. And a big well done to Chowie as well, who truly tore it apart after Christmas this year.
So, Benoit, we've hit round 10 of the Marsh Medal, and the presenter is for this one definitely is a 10 out of 10.
Oh, who is it?
Well, I didn't tell you.
Not yet.
Well, oh, okay, well, let's play a game of Guess Who.
Ooh, okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
Have I played A grade for Freo?
Yep.
Have I played state cricket?
Yes, yeah, yep.
Have I won a Marsh Medal before?
Yep.
Done a fair bit. Alright, am I a tall, fast bowler?
Guess you could say fast.
Do I wear 3/4 Puma shorts and have sunglasses older than half my team?
You certainly do.
Okay, I reckon I'm getting warmer. Does my body fall apart every time I play cricket?
Definitely.
Okay. Do I have strawberry blonde hair?
I'd say more red, but yeah.
Well, it must be the big guy, Jamie Heath.
Correct. Well done. Now let's see what the big guy has to say about round 10 against Wanneroo.
G'day everybody, I hope everybody is staying out of trouble during the whole COVID-19 stuff. My job tonight is to take us through round 10 versus Wanneroo. So off we go. Round 10 saw Fremantle take on Wanneroo in an exciting matchup of two high quality white ball teams. Fremantle won the toss and sent Wanneroo into bat, which proved to be pretty costly, given the fact the Port Boys got thumped. 234 run second wicket partnership proved that, with Rob Richards and Kelvin Smith being the damage makers. They guided Wanneroo through to a massive score of 294, which I'm pretty damn sure wasn't at Stevens Reserve. After the loss of our skipper early in the reply, the Port Boys went about the chase strongly and were in decent shape at 2 for 150 off the first 30 overs. Good going, boys. However, Wanneroo squeezed the game and we ultimately couldn't handle the pressure as we fell 90 runs short of the target. Eddie Byram, Caden Cookson and Chris Davenport, the solid contributors with the bat. Meanwhile, the 2s and 3s also experienced disappointing losses, and it was left to the fiery 4s to get a win up for the Port Boys, as Patrick Pumphrey continued his good form, making 58, whilst Campbell Green picked up 3 wickets. So, the votes: 1 vote, Chris Davenport; 2 votes, Caden Cookson; and 3 votes, Eddie Byram. All the best, boys. Stay out of trouble. Look forward to catching you all next season, and go to Port.
Well, a big shout out to the big guy for giving us that round review, and it's great to see that he hasn't lost his fantastic sense of humour since moving back home to New South Wales.
It certainly was weird not having Jamie out in the field with us this year, as nearly 600 wickets were taken in our senior ranks.
Yeah, speaking of all those wickets, we've narrowed them down to what we think were the best 10. What do you think was the best wicket?
Well, I certainly love Jai Richardson's first wicket at the T20 Grand Final, and that amazing catch from Sutts, but I just can't ever go past that. Hey, Yorker! Bowled him! Huge wicket for Ben Moore!
You're right, mate. Anyway, with that aside, let's get into the top 10 wickets of the season.
Bowls again to Patel this time. A Yorker bowled him! Huge wicket for Ben Moore!
Wasn't that an elite package of bowling and fielding? I mean, the last one just sort of reminded me of my one and only A-grade wicket.
A half tracker to a tail ender that was caught on the boundary.
No.
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked here. Let's move into round 11 of the Marsh Medal count. This one's against Mount Lawley, and we've got some fantastic hosts to present this one.
Okay.
Sponsored by Batfast, we've got WA power couple Sean and Beck Marsh.
We are extremely lucky, Benoit, to have these two take time out of their busy lives with Mabel and Austin. Sean, as you know, superstar of Australian cricket, who won almost every award this year at the Laurie Sewell Medal, except for the Scorchers one. Meanwhile, Beck's an amazing businesswoman and a mother in her own regard, and continues to do great things.
Time to shine, Sauce and Beck.
Round 11 saw Fremantle match up against Mount Lawley in what proved to be a dominant performance from the Port Boys.
Fremantle won the toss and elected to bat on a flat wicket, and this decision proved to be the wise as we set out a massive total of 3 for 325 off our 50 overs.
Jakey Carter commenced the innings in fine style as he flew an impressive 107 off just 117 deliveries.
His innings included 10 fours and 1 6 in a faultless effort that set the platform for an incredible innings to follow from our superstar import Eddie Byram.
Eddie proceeded to break all kinds of records as he smashed their Mount Lawley bowlers all over the ground on his way to 110 runs off 60 balls.
This exhibition in modern batting included 11 fours and 4 sixes as Eddie demonstrated his 360-degree range of stroke play.
Mount Lawley never really had a chance and ended up over 100 runs short in their reply, with the bowlers performing very well.
The second grade boys also won in a tight matchup with Jake Kamada, performing strongly with bat and ball.
The fourth grade boys also recorded a win, with Chaz De Silva picking up 4 wickets and making 37 not out.
On you, Chaz. The votes for round 11 of the Marsh Medal are
1 vote, Caden Cookson.
2 votes, Eddie Byram.
3 votes, Jakey Carter.
Well done, guys.
Well done. Cheers.
I'm looking for a piece of ecstasy for my golden slums. I'm looking for another point of view for my open mind. You know I'm looking for a change. I'm waiting for the need to take control of my wasted time. I'm waiting for the man to shape my thoughts in a different light. You know I'm looking for a change. You know I'm looking for a change. I'm singing my song as I walk through the door. I'm taking the long way home in the morning. I'm falling asleep as I'm driving on water. I don't know, I don't I'm fighting for a piece of sanity for my golden slums. I'm fighting for another choice of you for my open mind. You know I'm looking for a change. You know I'm looking for a change.
Well, next up in our series of Marsh Medal contender interviews, we've got international man of mystery, the Somerset Slug, Eddie Byram.
Look, we're extremely lucky to have Eddie joining us all the way from sunny Taunton this evening, which is the biggest town in Somerset. Did you know that? And it's approximately 14,662 kilometres away as the bird flies.
Must be yelling.
Yeah. Eddie, have you got us, mate? How are you? You thirsty? How's everything been since you returned to Somerset?
Yeah, hi everyone. I am doing very well, thank you. Obviously back in the UK now, getting on pretty well, and lockdown seems like it's going on forever, but hopefully we're towards the end of it now.
Now look, Eddie, before we get to the hard-hitting questions, can you clear a couple of things up for us? Where has the slug come from?
Yeah, the slug nickname was an interesting one, but it came from none other than Ben Moore. I think it was just because he said I moved like a slug in the outfield, and that's pretty fair, I think.
Alright, now let's get on to the serious questions here, Slug. You're 22 years old, Zimbabwean born and bred, and moved to Somerset in England's southwest to chase your dream as a professional cricketer. How did you find your first season at Fremantle, and how is playing and living in Perth different to Zimbabwe and England?
Yeah, well, I absolutely loved my first and hopefully not last season at Fremantle. I think going anywhere else in the world offers different opportunities to learn about different things. And, you know, going out to Australia and to Fremantle was a great opportunity and experience for me. And certainly was able to play with a great bunch of guys, which I thoroughly enjoyed. and you learn things as you go along, but being able to be in a new environment with different people and learn from different people, is always a valuable experience, and certainly was for me being out there.
Okay, final question before we get back to the count. You had a few incredible personal innings this year. Which one stands out for you? Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, there are a few innings I really enjoyed. I think my first innings against Midlands was great because I think being an overseas, you really just want to get that monkey off your back of getting a score, so that everyone thinks that you can at least hold a bat and that you're not that bad. So that was great to sort of get the monkey off the back. And then the T20, can't remember who was against, the last one for us to get into the final. I think it was Subi, where I got 80 odd and then got a 6 in the Super Over. Absolutely loved that, just sort of, especially that last over of our innings, where their bowler sort of just lost his head, and I was able to get a few away, and then to go on to win that game, that was great. I really enjoyed that.
Well, thanks for your time, Eddie, and good luck for the rest of the count tonight. And it would be really good to see you win it and share that medal with your good mate Tom Abel, who got one a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it would. Hey, Benoit, did you hear the rumours around the WACA competition that Freo would never ever win another T20 flag after Keaton Anderson retired?
Look, Jordan, I'd be lying if I said I didn't hear him, but we put him to bed this year, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Better yet, we've got the highlights to show it. Let's sit back and watch Smokey Sutton go bananas and that now famous Ben Moore delivery that sent the crowd into raptures. Here are the highlights from our successful and almost fairy tale style T20 campaign.
writing's on the wall, it takes its time. You're better off in someone else's mind. Don't believe the hype, even when it's right. And I won't hold my breath overnight. Shine the light up to my face, and I'll come on back home. I'll come home. Shine the light up to my face, and I'll come on back home. I'll come home. You said you're gonna show, but you lied. And I ain't gonna try and change your mind. You're never gonna go, but I might. And I won't hold my breath overnight. Shine the light up to my face, and I'll come on back home. I'll come home. Shine the light up to my face, and I'll come on back home. I'll come home. But honestly, you know you taste so sweet. Though I'll wait till it's over now. But honestly, you know you taste so sweet. Though I'll wait till it's over now.
Oh, what a truly incredible grand final that was. It's very lucky that we have that highlights package, as I don't really remember it otherwise.
There was a lot going on, and it was, you know, a blur of excitement.
Yeah, of course. And then how good was the pre-game supporters lunch too?
Delicious. I saw a bloke eat a palmy with his bare hands.
Oh, I know.
Anyway, look, moving on. Next up, to present the Asia World Shipping Round 12 of the Marsh Medal against Gosnells is Bailey and Phil Holman, or, as I like to call them, 4 half-men.
Benoit, that is terrible. Bailey and Phil are one of our many FDCC A-grade father-son combos, and 2 men are loved by everyone at the port. Take it away, Holman, Benoit and Phil.
Okay, Bailey. Fremantle versus Gosnells, round 12. What happened?
Alright, round 12 saw the first grade boys avoid a dreaded trip to the Sutherland Park Snake Pit, as Fremantle took on Gosnells in a big fixture at Stevens Reserve. Gosnells won the toss on a green seamer and sent the Port boys into bat. A gritty team performance saw Fremantle grind out a solid score of 230 with extremely challenging batting conditions.
Captain Jake Carter showed his developing leadership maturity as he made an impressive score of 73, with the ball doing lots early. Chris Davenport then steadied the ship later in the innings as he ended up 63 not out with solid support from other batsmen.
The second week of this fixture saw much more suitable conditions for batting, and it showed, with Gosnells passing our score with 5 wickets in hand, in which was a very disappointing loss.
Meanwhile, the second grade almost pulled off an outright victory after Alex Zhao continued his impressive season with the ball, taking 5 for 19 in the first innings. Zhao's effort even more remarkable when you see the Gosnells scorecard featuring 4 middle order batsmen: bowled A. Zhao, goose egg.
The Threes also recorded a tight win as they took the 10th Gosnells wicket, with their opponents only needing 4 runs to win. Jacob Headland put together an impressive all-round game,
with some handy runs and his usual impressive bowling. Meanwhile, the fours lost to a stronger Gosnell side.
So the votes for round 12 of the Marsh Medal are:
1 vote, Josh Chognowski.
2 votes, Jake Carter.
And 3 votes, Chris Davenport.
Thank you.
Alright mate, I've got a beer?
Sure.
Thanks, Phil and Bailey. Things are certainly getting interesting at the top of the leaderboard now, with Davenport and Carter slowly creeping up on Cookson. Boy, isn't the count going to be exciting?
It sure is. And tell you what, next up we've got a man who we've already heard from tonight, and I wonder if there's going to be another appearance later on. Well, here's the man currently sitting in second place of the count to give his address as the first grade captain, Mr. Jake Carter, to present the batting and bowling awards for first grade.
Firstly, a few thank yous from me. Thanks to the boys. Thanks for a really enjoyable year. Thanks for making my job as easy as possible. Really appreciate it and looking forward to doing it again next year. To the coaches, to Joey, Kopi, Shutzy and Greenie, thanks for everything you do for us around game day and training, getting us prepared and running us through warm-ups and so on. So really appreciate that. So thank you very much. And to the club in general, all the boys that come down and support us on a Saturday or a Sunday, no matter where we're playing, really appreciate you getting around us and offering us support. It's something we really love when we're out on the field, hearing you guys cheering us on. So thank you very much for that. In terms of our performance on field this year, it was a bit up and down, but I think we showed some really good patches throughout the year. Obviously, making the one-day semi-final was a great achievement for the club, and on top of that, the T20 Premiers is a massive achievement with the boys earning a trip to Adelaide for all their hard work during the year. So that's a really, really big positive for us. In terms of red ball, it was up and down. We had some really good games and we had some really close games, which in the end didn't go our way, and potentially was the reason why we just missed out on finals. But if we keep piecing things together like we have over the last few years, it's going to be very soon when we're in the one-day T20 and red ball finals in the same year. So something to look forward to in the seasons ahead at Fremantle. In terms of a few outstanding individual performance, we had quite a few over the year, especially from our new import, Eddie Byram. He provided us with a lot of fireworks going through the season. Just a couple of his innings, 150 versus Midland, unbelievable innings. First game for the Port, 45 degrees out at Lilac Hill, outstanding performance. He then went on to make 110 against Mount Lawley, 135 against Scarborough in the prelim final, and 121 against Midland. So really gave Midland a good drumming this year, did Eddie, and he was fantastic for us. Another batter in Sam Whiteman carried his bat twice for us during the season with 144 against Bayswater and 130 against Scarborough in the prelim as well. So fantastic effort for Whitey, who's opening the batting for us, to carry his bat through 2 50-over matches was phenomenal. We had Dan Kennedy make an unbelievable 100 against Joondalup to really pull the boys out of the mud and set a total that we could go about defending. 115 of the best from Dan, and that was a great innings. We then had a great bowling performance from Caden Cookson. He offered us 5 for 80 against Willerton and another 5-wicket haul with 7 for 58 against Scarborough, which is phenomenal for a young kid in his first full season of A grade. So Caden had a couple of days out this year and was a great bowler for us. Timmy Miles didn't play a lot, but when he did, he was very handy for us. A 5 for 73 against Claremont. A great team to get a 5 for against, because we're go pretty hard at Claremont. They come pretty hard back at us. So good for Timmy Miles to get a few poles there, and it was a fantastic performance for us. On to the awards now, and it is my pleasure to give the A-grade batting award to Sam Whiteman, who scored 481 runs at a phenomenal average of 80.17. With 200s and 150 throughout the season, 3 not outs, fantastic effort by Sammy. Always comes back to the port and gives his best, and he's had a phenomenal year with the bat for us. So congratulations to Sammy Whiteman, A-grade batter of the year. From a bowling point of view, it's my pleasure to give the A-grade bowling award to a youngster, Caden Cookson. A phenomenal year, first year of A-grade, really stepped up his game and showed us what he's capable of. So the A-grade bowling award goes to Caden Cookson with 29 wickets at 22.9 and a best bowling of 7 for 58. Phenomenal stats from Cookie there, and really proud of his efforts this year. From a captain's point of view, that's all from me. Very enjoyable year, some great performances, and a lot of good stuff to come for the Port in the following seasons. If we keep piecing things together like we have been over the last couple of years, it's going to be a good next 2 to 3 years for the Port. So look forward to that, and I hope everyone's enjoying their night. Cheers.
G'day all. Hope everyone's having a great night. Firstly, just like to thank and I guess congratulate everyone that's put this together. It's a huge effort by all involved. Marsh Medal is obviously something we all look forward to each year. Probably the main reason why half of us play and the piss up. So well done. Couple of thanks. Obviously, honoured to win the award. Probably didn't deserve it. Probably stole it off Eddie just with a couple of readings. But huge thank you. Thanks to all the club. The Port family. A few special mentions to Joey, Copes, Shutzy, Sue, and Chelsea, obviously. All the hours you put in is amazing. Got to mention Sutto. 13 years of playing first grade together. Hell of a career, mate. Still don't think you're finished yet, but we'll see what next year brings. But looking forward to seeing everyone soon. Thanks, guys.
Huge thank you. Obviously means a lot to win an award like this, especially with the amount of quality young bowlers we have around the club at the moment. I feel like there's a really strong group of us at the moment who hopefully lead the club to some more flags in the near future. I'd quickly like to thank a few people. So obviously all the coaches I've had in the past few years, and even the players who have worked with me, whether it be in game or at training. Not only have these people worked closely on my action and technique and all that sort of stuff, but I've also learnt so much about the tactical side of spin bowling, and I think it's definitely helped me grow as a player. Huge thank you to all those people who've had a big influence on me, and thank you to everyone for watching tonight, and hopefully you'll enjoy the rest of it. Well, congratulations to Yum Yum Cookie for taking home his first award of the night. And, well, is there going to be another one coming on later? He's the current leader of the Marsh Medal, so who knows, but I bet his dad is proud.
And Caden has shown all of us opening batters that the best way to get over complaining about the Stevens wicket is to become a bowler. Sounds like we better get the bowling spikes out over the off-season and push our way in considerations for A-grade selection.
Well, we move on to round 13 versus Subi Floriat now, and we thank Prime West, our sponsor for this round, and there's a couple of familiar faces here to take you through the next one. One's an assistant coach and one's still playing, but both are life members and legends of the club with killer cut shots. Oh, did I mention they're twins?
Twins, Basil! Twins! Here are the Shuttleworths to talk us about the game against Subiaco Floriat.
Good evening. Hi everyone. Hope you're going well tonight. Watching the wind-up online. Something a little bit different, but still have a few drinks. We're at the front bar tonight, having a beer ourselves. We're going to go through the votes for round 13 for the Marsh Medal versus Subi Floriat, proudly sponsored by Prime West. So the first grade went up to Floria Park, won the toss, had a bat on a really good surface. Jay Carter made a really good 62 to get the boys to 1 for 90 at lunch. We lost our way a little bit in the middle session, but late in the day, Ashton showed his class and held the innings together, making a really good 72 to get the boys to 235. A little bit under par considering the wicket. On day 2, we had Subi in a little bit of early trouble. They were 3 for 57 nearing lunchtime. In the middle, Subi had a really good partnership which we couldn't break. We toiled really hard late in the day. Sammy Greer was the pick of the bowlers. It wasn't our day. Subi Flory got the runs, 6 wickets down in the end. So unlucky to the boys, but how did we go in the lower grades, Steve?
Right, in the lower grades, the seconds had a victory, very close one. The standouts were Bailey Holman, 62, well batted, and with the ball, Chowie and Holmesy took 4 for each, well bowled. In the third grade, Desi Hedlton took 5, the thirds missed out, just lost by 1 wicket. In the fourth grade, Levi McKay, Dave Burden took 6 for, which is great. Great to see, future player.
Yeah. How'd you go, Steve?
No, only 11.
11?
Yeah, not good.
Did you get fired again?
No, I just chopped one on.
Did you?
Yeah, it was a stinker.
Not to worry, mate.
Yeah.
So for the votes for round 13, 1 vote Sam Greer, 2 votes Jay Carter,
I'm bomb.
3 votes Ashton Turner. So congrats to all the award winners tonight. Hope you're having a great night. Thanks for that, and we'll see you in the off season. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Jake Carter goes bang, and we have a new leader. With 4 rounds left, we have 3 votes separating the leaders. What a finish we have in store.
Sure do, but before we get to that, let's go to the presentation of the Senior Encouragement Awards. And look, I know what you're thinking about our next presenter. He's short, angry assistant coach. It's nothing but a vicious stereotype.
Well, guess what? He's short, he's assistant coach, and sometimes he gets angry. And he's here to address us and present the Senior Encouragement Award.
Coach, have we got you there?
Yeah, hi guys. Welcome to the 2019-20 Marsh Medal presentation night. I'll keep this brief. It's very surreal, obviously doing by video. Just a few notes. I'd just like to thank the committee, in particular Dave Davenport, for all the hard work that you guys have done during the course of the season. And in particular for putting this night on tonight. It would have been easy to cancel it given the situation we find ourselves in at the moment, but great effort by everybody concerned, and I'm sure everyone appreciates the effort that's gone into it. A few people I'd like to single out, in particular Chelsea Fell. I think Chelsea have done a great job. No doubt you'll receive a heap of accolades and thanks during the course of the night, but your efforts during the course of the season have been outstanding, and particularly on Thursday nights with the cheese boards and everything you do around the club has just been outstanding, so a big thank you from me. To the coaches, to Joey, Lewis Green and Ryan Shuttleworth, thanks boys, another great season. We put our heart and soul into it, and we've had a very successful year. I think if we pull through the results, another very successful year, and no doubt I think it's a credit to everybody concerned on the coaching panel. Mick Pumphrey as our net captain, well done Mick, thank you from all of us, players, coaches, committee. You've done a great job. It is the hardest job in the club, so to come in cold and do the job you did was an outstanding effort, so thank you mate. And lastly to the captains and the players, thanks boys for all your efforts, particularly the captains on selection nights. It's had some curly selection meetings this year, and it's it is a difficult process to go through, but thanks to you for all your efforts. Season summary, obviously the highlight was winning the T20 A-grade grand final, which saw us participate in the national championships in Adelaide, which was an outstanding week and an experience for me, everybody concerned, particularly the young players. Some didn't get to play any games, but I'm sure that'll hold them in great stead going forward. And to all the supporters that came across that week, I think we were by far the best supported team during that campaign. So it was just a fantastic experience and one I'll never forget. To the seconds and the threes also making the finals, well done to you boys. The thirds obviously didn't get to participate in their semi-final. I'm sure they had the possibility of going on to participate in a grand final, or maybe even winning that grand final. And to Lewis with the Colts, they were beaten semi-finalists. So I think if we looked at the season collectively, we had another very successful season across the board. So well done to everybody concerned. The main reason for my speech tonight is to present the lower grade Cricketer of the Year, the Encouragement Award. The votes are cast 3-1 by all of the lower grade captains. And this year it's my great pleasure to announce that we have a tie for the first time, I think, in the awards history. David King and Mitch Rudgeram are the worthy recipients of this award, both on 13 votes. So big congratulations to you boys. And I looked at the votes, and we couldn't, even if we had a count-back system, they polled the exact same number of 3, 2 and 1 votes. So even if we had a count-back system, they still would have been tied winners. So congratulations. Second place was Chris Sanini, his first year for the club with 12 votes. So just 1 vote behind the 2 boys that won. Great first up year from you, Chris, and I hope you keep working hard and push for higher honours next season. And third place, we had 3 players on equal votes, Alex Chow, Robbie Holmes and Jacob Headland, all on 11 votes. So a very, very tightly contested award this year. And a couple of players there that have really gone on in leaps and bounds. In particular, you, Chowie, were rewarded with your A-grade debut at the end of the season. So well done to you, mate. So thanks, guys. A short but sharp and very surreal video presentation from me. Just lastly, I'd just like to thank my beautiful wife and my family for putting up with another year, with me being away from home for extended periods of time. Love you, and I really appreciate your support. Okay, have a great night.
So I just want to start off by saying thanks very much. I think it's a big honour to receive this award, given the talent of some of the boys that have won it in previous years. Being a bit of a strange year for myself, as I pulled the pin at the start of the year, but decided to come back eventually after a bit of a push from Jack to come play under him. I'm pretty proud to have done what I've done in a shortened season. I just want to give a few thanks to some people that have supported me and helped me along the way. Firstly, to my brother Jack, who without his very good persuasive ability, I wouldn't have played at all. To Mum, who made my lunch every week and for how supportive she was, and to Dad, who was also very supportive and came to watch whenever he could. And finally, to the coaches who helped me improve my game, and to the teammates who made the season enjoyable and always a real good laugh. So cheers.
Well done to both the recipients of the Senior Encouragement Award this year. And look, I just think it goes to show that you can rock up to every training session, pre-season, regular season, or you can go missing for 3 weeks and have the coaches not knowing if you're going to rock up on a Saturday. Doesn't affect your chances of winning this award.
Yeah, well. But in all seriousness to both of the boys, it's a true testament to the effort they put on this year, and look, you guys have a long and successful career ahead of you at the Port.
Definitely. Well, we move on to the next round now, and this one, sponsored by BioLab, is the one-day prelim final against Scarborough. This truly was an incredible fixture of some of the best top-order batting we've ever seen in the Port.
Yeah, and to present this to you, we are lucky enough to have a father-son FDCC duo. These two have been involved with the club for 15 years or so now and never have missed a fixture in that time. One of the duo is a stalwart of the cricket club and is well liked by everyone, and is also an off-field contender for the best in Adelaide. The other one is Ben Moore.
Over to you, Greg and Ben.
Hi guys, hope everyone is staying safe and enjoying the Marsh Medal count with their family and their friends. We've been given the task of reviewing the one-day preliminary final, so take it away, Greg.
Fremantle's impressive run of form in the white ball cricket saw us qualify as one of 4 teams to make the one-day finals. Our preliminary final saw the Port boys matched against Scarborough in an exciting fixture, and we were sent in after losing the toss.
This proved to be a costly decision by the Gulls, as Fremantle piled on one of the biggest scores in the history of WACA Premier Cricket, as we ended up on 3 for 369 off 50 overs. Jake Carter set the foundations for the massive total with an attractive 70, And then Eddie Byram showed off his incredible talent, finishing the innings in style as he made 135 off just 76 balls in a knock that included 12 fours and 7 sixes. A simply ridiculous innings that we will talk about for a long time to come.
And don't forget Sam Whiteman, who anchored the Fremantle innings as he carried his bat to end up with 130 not out of 136 balls in his trademark controlling and elegant style. Other notable performances came from Braden Sutton with a stunning first ball duck, and Dan Kennedy, who managed to go the entire day without batting, bowling or taking a catch. Well done, Dan.
This score was always going to be far too many for the Scarborough Gulls, and a solid all-round bowling performance saw the Port Boys complete a stunning 91-run victory and advance to a grand final matchup against Claremont Edlands. This promised to be a tantalising matchup of the two white ball titans of West Australian Premier Cricket.
The votes for this round of the Marsh Medal are...
1 vote, Jake Carter.
2 votes, Sammy Whiteman.
And 3 votes, Eddie the Slug Byram.
Three votes to the Slug. Great to see that playing selfish, risky reverse sweeps and ramps rather than getting through the V get your votes these days, Benoit.
Sure does. Well, next up we've got the one-day grand final against Claremont Edlands, and this one's proudly brought to you by Byfield's Wealth Management. Now, Jordan and I promised that we'd never speak about this game ever again.
No, so like never again. But as such, we've got the most positive man we could find to bring you the votes today, and that man is Phil Chopper Alvaro. Have you got us, Phil?
After an incredible preliminary final performance, Freo entered the one-day grand final against Claremont and Edlands riding a wave of confidence. However, the Port Boys also appreciated the gigantic challenge they were to face as they matched up against the competition's white ball specialist team. Claremont had been contenders for almost a decade as they chased their 5th straight one-day premiership. The Port won the toss and elected to bat at the neutral ground of Fletcher Park and found themselves in early trouble after losing 3 key wickets for 19 runs. Eddie Byram, 38, Chris Davenport, 22, set about steadying the ship, but Claremont was simply too good with the ball on an extremely challenging Fletcher wicket and restricted the Port to a total of only 97. The boys were resilient with their attempts to defend the low total, but Claremont was simply too good as Caden Cookson's 2 classy wickets proved to be the only highlight in a disappointing day for the Port. Nonetheless, the impressive efforts of Freo in the coloured clothing can't be understated and should be celebrated as it was very difficult to make both the one-day and T20 grand finals in the same season. Hopefully this result will drive the Port into bigger things for 2020-2021 season. Votes for this round of the Marsh Medal are 1 vote, Caden Cookson, 2 votes, Chris Davenport, 3 votes, Eddie Byram. Good luck to everybody involved and hope you have a great night.
Okay, now we never have to speak about that game ever again. And also a big thank you to Phil Alvaro. Chopper's been a true leader and role model for the club for many years, and well, I still remember my early days in the fours and, you know, not only his leadership on the field, but off it.
It's fair to say, on and off the field, you never forget playing with Chopper, do you?
Exactly.
Jesus. But now it's time to sit back and enjoy some of the highlights from our amazing Adelaide trip for the National Premier T20 competition in March. This was the prize for winning the WACA T20 Premiership, and what a prize it was. A truly amazing experience with some even better stories.
Seems like an actual lifetime ago now that we went though. And I think we were actually on the last Virgin flight back.
Yeah.
myself, should I try? But all my friends, they say they're happy for me, but my mind, it traces back to all the home. But all my friends, they say they're happy for me, but my mind, it traces back to all the harm I've caused. I told my friends I love her, and I tell them all the time. Does it change their minds? Now I'm sharing all my covers, she sleeps over all the time. And it feels so right. But every little thing she ever did was right. I'd ask myself, should I try? But all my friends, they say they're happy for me, but my mind, it traces back to all the home. But all my friends, they say they're happy for me, but my mind, it traces back to all the harm I've caused. I'm coming home. Oh mama, I'm home. I'm coming home. All my friends, they say they're happy for me, but my mind, it traces back to all the harm. But all my friends, they say they're happy for me, but my mind is tracing back to all the harm I've caused. But all my friends, they say they're happy for me, but my mind, it traces back to all the harm. But all my friends, they say they're happy for me, but my mind, it traces back to all the harm I've caused.
What an amazing trip it was. I'd do it all over again for another snap with Evan Gulbis.
Yeah, but also, just a polite reminder to Sam Greer that he got hit for the biggest six that myself and everybody in attendance has ever seen in their entire lives. I'm pretty sure that ball was floating on its way to China.
There's a fair chance, mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, we move on to the second last round of the count here, and we've got a tight pack at the top of the leaderboard. It is honestly anyone's medal from here, and it's time to find out the next piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, so round 14 of the Marsh Medal sees Fremantle come against Joondalup in a match sponsored by Prime West. This game was truly a special match for a number of reasons, but in particular you saw the Mark Midfield Trophy presented on the same day as the annual Pink Stumps Day for breast cancer awareness.
I actually think that our next presenter might be secretly happy with the Marsh Medal being, done at home, sitting back, relaxing on the couch, because I'm pretty sure he's still nursing a calf injury from walking all the way from Bunbury. Of course, it's the one and only Graham Edgar.
Look, we do want to take the time to thank Eggy on everything he's done in raising all the funds for the McGrath Foundation. You are truly an inspirational man that has taught all young men at this club a lot about bravery, how to respect and love the women in our lives, and about the challenges that people can face on a daily basis. Talk us through round 14, please, Grant.
Hi everyone, and thanks for the honour of letting me read out the votes for the round 14 game versus Joondalup. That's obviously the Mark McPhee Shield game, and this year it coincided with the Pink Stumps Day as well. Before I go on and read the votes, I'd just like to say a few thank yous for the Pink Stumps Day and the walk from Bunbury to Fremantle that a few of us did. To Chelsea and Chris Fell, great effort guys. To be our support crew and drivers for the first 2 days was absolutely magnificent. Couldn't have done the walk without you. Chelsea, I could have done without you getting bogged late on the first day after 40 Ks and having to push you out of a bog. But yeah, that was fun. But thanks very much. You two guys were magnificent. And for Chelsea, for you to come back after day one and then put the function together at the club on the Pink Stumps Day as well. Young lady, you do a magnificent job. Thank you very much. To Fee and Tubbo, a couple of my workmates, thank you very much for walking with me on a couple of the days. For Wilkie, 3 of the 4 days, mate, you walked with me. Couldn't have done it with a better bloke. And for Michael and his future brother-in-law Mitch, thanks very much for walking the last day with me. Very special for me to be able to walk onto the ground with you guys. So thank you once again. Onto the game now. Joondalup won the toss and chucked us in on what was apparently a green top. And at 5 for 83, it probably was a good decision. But in stepped Dan Kennedy, and obviously likes a bit of green stuff. And 115 runs later off 125 balls, it got us to a position of 180 runs. And when Joondalup were 8 for 100 at the end of the first day, 180 was looking pretty good. But unfortunately, second day came along, and Joondalup were able to get to the 180 and win on the first innings, which meant that we had to try and win outright to make the finals in A grade. Jake Carter, 71, Ashton Turner, 67, provided a few fireworks and enabled us to get to 3 for 185 just before tea. We chucked them in and had them 2 for virtually nothing at tea, so game on. But after tea, one of the Joondalup batsmen, Morgan, he produced another outstanding innings for the game, making 100 off only about 70 balls and got them over the line with a few overs to go. So unfortunately, no chocolates for the A grade, put them out of the contention for A grade finals. But the efforts throughout the year were pretty good, and obviously with the T20 pennant and making the final the one dayers, it was a pretty good season. Second grade for this game, only needed 12 more runs after the first day. Second day got washed out, so they were left agonisingly close to a win. Third grade won again, and fourth grade unfortunately lost. So it wasn't the best weekend for the club, but seconds and thirds lived to fight another day, and they eventually made the finals. So on to the votes now. Jake Carter, 1 vote for his magnificent 71 in the second dig. Sam Greer, a young fella who took 4 wickets late on that first day, put Joondalup to 8 for 100, and really put us in the box seat to win the game, but we just couldn't do it on the second day. And then Dan Kennedy with his 115 obviously gets the 3 votes. Great effort, Dan. Showed what can be done with a little bit of application. So that's the votes for the for the game. Again, just thank you hugely for everyone that supported me during the walk from Bunbury. For those of you who don't know, we finished 4th in Australia for funds raised, $8,000 we raised, and 1st in WA. So great effort, guys. Really, really appreciate it, and I know the McGrath Foundation really appreciate it as well. So onwards and upwards for season 2021. Go the Port.
my name. I'm falling further from my own way. Right on time, it's all the same. I tried on my own, I walked away. I know sometimes you find it hard to overcompensate. Fuck you if you think that I'm gonna take the blame. Your words ain't ever seemed to help me out anyway. Or do you think that I could stay?
Before we get to the final round of the Marsh Medal, we finish off our series of Marsh Medal contender interviews with our young star, Caden Cookson. Caden was a game changer on many occasions for our A-grade side this year and truly put his name in lights across the whole competition, Benoit.
Sure did. So we've got Caden here. Hi Caden, how you going, mate? You thirsty? Feeling a bit nervous about tonight?
Hey, I'm going alright, not too nervous, just pretty excited. Should be a pretty fun night.
So what have your plans been tonight, and who are you watching with tonight, Caden?
Plans for the night, pretty simple. I'll probably just sit back and enjoy watching it by myself, I'd say.
Well, hopefully your dad and club legend Chris Cookson is also tuning in somewhere tonight. But let's get to the nitty gritty. What do you think of your season? And do you think you're a serious chance of winning tonight?
Chris will definitely be tuning in tonight. He was pretty excited about it, so he'll be watching it all unfold. And in terms of what I thought of my own season, I exceeded personal expectations, that's for sure. To have been able to win a flag, go to Adelaide, play a whole season of A grade, these are things that I definitely didn't think I'd be able to achieve at the start of the season. I don't think I'll win tonight. I think one of the other three boys, they all had outstanding seasons with the bat. And I'm sure one of them will win tonight.
Now, the club had a pretty successful season overall as well. Do you have any particular matches or moments that stand out?
Obviously, very successful season in the T20, so a couple of particular matches, including the semi-final, the Super Over where Eddie got us over the line with a superb individual performance, and then the final itself, I think, being a part of that, it was definitely a game that I'll remember for a long, long time, just because of the high quality of players that were involved in it. And then it was obviously such an exciting game to watch, and then obviously our whole Adelaide trip and all the games there, some highs and lows there, they were all pretty memorable and definitely stood out to me.
Now look, last question before we get back to the count. If you won the award tonight, you would be the youngest winner for the Marsh Medal in over a decade at only 20 years of age. What would it mean to you to join a list of Marsh Medal winners that include club greats such as, the Graham Porters, the Mark McPhees, Wayne Copeland, Brad Hogg, Brett Dorey, Jamie Heath?
Yeah, it'd be a massive honour if I won the medal tonight, that's for sure. A name would probably feel a bit out of place if I was to join the list of club greats that have won in the past. But even if I don't win tonight, there's a lot of positives to take from the season, and I feel like my game's got a lot of improvement in it. And I'm really looking forward to the next few years and where the club can go.
Thanks, Yum Yum, and good luck for the final round of the Marsh Medal count.
Well, this is it, Jordan.
Yeah.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
It's the final round against our neighbours, the Storm, and it looks like there are 4 contenders that could all take it home. Well, could it be Jake Carter to go back-to-back? Could it be Eddie Byram joining his mate Tom Abel as winners from Taunton? Is it the whiz kid, Caden Cookson? Could he spin his way to a victory? Or could it be Chris Davenport to cap off a stellar season with a win?
And really, who better to give us a rundown of round 15 other than one of Fremantle's favourite sons? He skippered the first grade team, won a Marsh Medal, played a number of clutch innings and taken heaps of big wickets, and you know what, he could have been a great night captain if he wasn't so good at cricket. Ashton Turner and a very special co-presenter will be taking us through the final match against Melville.
The final fixture of the regular season saw the Port Boys match up against their highly respected neighbours in Melville Cricket Club at Tompkins Park in a one-day game. Melville batted first and were restricted to 8 for 241 off their 50 overs, with first grade debutant Alex Chow taking his first wicket and generally impressing. Fremantle's response was on track at 2 for 100 after 25 overs. However, the Port Boys couldn't get the job done as Eddie Byram top scored with 64 and was supported by starts from Davenport, Kennedy, Sutton and Cookson. In the lower grades, the second and third grade boys were fighting to secure the highest possible position in the finals race. The second grade boys recorded an impressive 6-wicket win with an even bowling performance capped off with a beautiful captain's knock of 57 not out by Matt McHale. Meanwhile, the Frees lost an intense match up at Melville as Melville passed their score 9 wickets down. Finally, the Fours finished their season with a difficult loss. There were plenty of positives to be taken out of the fixture as the Rudrum brothers both impressed and Mitch picked up 5 wickets. The votes for round 15 of the Marsh Medal are 1 vote, Caden Cookson, 2 votes, Chris Davenport, and 3 votes, Eddie Byram.
What a thriller, hey? Jesus, and a well-deserved winner at that. And now we're lucky enough to have Jeff Marsh on standby to officially present the award.
Thanks once again for being ready to present this award, Swampy, and we are so lucky to have you and your family's ongoing support of this illustrious award. But before we do that, let's have a look at some of Eddie's highlights for the year.
I'm looking for a piece of ecstasy for my golden slums. I'm looking for another point of view for my open mind. You know I'm looking for a change. I'm waiting for the need to take control of my wasted time. I'm waiting for the man to shape my thoughts in a different light. You know I'm looking for a change. You know I'm looking for a change.
Good evening, everybody. Look, again, it's a great honour to be here tonight to present the Marsh Medal. It's something that we hold really highly, and again, thank you to the club for allowing us to give out the medal. What a year! I think that to play in 2 finals is a really special year for the club. At the end of the day, that's what we train for and play for, is to win finals. And I've got to say that right through my whole career, I think that the best times you remember when you finish playing and you're sitting at home are finals, and the moments in those finals, sitting in the dressing room afterwards when the last ball's bowled and you win the match, and just that excitement amongst the team and the club and all your supporters. It's just a special moment, and this year everyone got the opportunity to play in 2 finals. The one-day one, we didn't play as well as what we could have, but the T20, what a memory. The things that stand out for me is just the atmosphere There were 11 guys playing on the field, but the support that the team had from everyone sitting here tonight was fantastic. And that moment in the dressing room when all the club were there was something really, really special. So fantastic, congratulations on winning the T20 and making the final of the one days. I guess looking forward though, I think one thing that we can all learn from this year is that once we win a final, is how quickly we switch back onto the next competition, and we probably fell away a little bit there towards the end. But that's something we can learn as a club going forward. So again, to the coaching staff, to Joe and all his staff, to the committee, president down, well done, fantastic year, and now I'd like to present the medal. And just before I name the winner of the Marsh Medal, I just want to congratulate this player. Not only is he a very good cricketer this year, but it's what he gave to the club as a person, and that's what we look for. And I just want to say congratulations to the winner, Eddie Byron. You gave so much to the club as a cricketer, as a person. Congratulations on winning the medal. We definitely hope to see you again, and yeah, congratulations.
That's perfect.
Off a break, it's easy for me to feel love to see. Tasting the dream or chasing the green, my body it aches as I lay away, as I lay away, as I lay away. Face on the floor, I'm breaking my bones.
Thanks, Swampy, and wow, again, what an amazing count and great highlights package there of our winner. And we are lucky enough to have the winner, Eddie Byron, back with us all the way from England. Congratulations, mate, from everyone here at Freo on being awarded the 2019-2020 Marsh Medal. What does it mean to be named the Marsh Medalist in your first year at the Port?
Yeah, it's incredible to have won the award and follow in Tom's footsteps. And, you know, we've got so many, in my opinion, great cricketers at the club that to get that award is really special and really gratifying for me. You know, and we had a number of people, especially the ones that were, you know, up against me in the count, that put in some really special performances this year. So, you know, it's great to know that people valued my performances this year as well.
Look, congratulations, mate. It's absolutely stoked for you. And your season did start a bit slowly after some visa problems due to the British laws, but did you ever imagine you'd be winning it after only joining us at round 6?
Yeah, well, I at one point didn't think that I was going to get out to Australia. And eventually when I did, you know, after that first game against Midland, I think Dave came up to me and said that I averaged 30 now because I'd missed 5 games I was meant to have played. And, you know, that sort of went from there. But it was, you know, horrible to sort of miss out on those first couple of games because I was just excited to get out there, and to have to just wait and wait and wait and not know when my visa was going to come through was terrible. But, you know, luckily it did eventually come through, and hopefully I can get it a bit sooner this time around.
Now, when we spoke to you earlier on tonight, we mentioned that you had a couple of incredible innings for the club this season. Your first innings for the club against Midland Guildford, you composed 150 and bludgeoned the same attack for 121 in a T20 qualifying match a few weeks later. There were also some incredibly quick hundreds against Mount Lawley and Scarborough to cap off a rare season that contained 4 centuries. We want to talk to you about another innings though, and this is my personal favourite. What can you tell us about the T20 prelim final against Subi Florio? In particular, the last over of that first innings and then the super over.
Yeah, I think I've talked briefly about that final over, but I think building up that whole innings, we collapsed quite early, and me and Bailey, the king, put on quite a good partnership there in the middle, and I think it was the last ball of the second last over where Sam ran himself out so that I could get on strike, which worked out pretty well in the end, getting, I think it was about 30 runs off the last over. I just sort of picked a spot that I wanted to go after on the leg side, and just sort of went across my stumps and just hoped for the best most balls, and the bowler did the rest in losing his head, and it worked out pretty well.
Look, something that impressed everyone in your time here at the Port was your ability to play shots at 360 degrees of the field. And you played some shots this year that are just amongst the best that any of us have ever seen.
Yeah.
I think one that stands out was a reverse sweep off a pace bowler that went for 6.
Scarborough, yeah.
How did you learn to play this vast array of shots, and what would your advice be to the young Fremantle kids coming up that want to learn to play some of these shots?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I practice those shots a huge amount. As you say, like the reverse sweep off the seamer, I don't think I've ever really practiced that in the nets. But I do practice it against spinners, so I do back my hand eye and have a general idea of how I'm going to sort of pull the shot off. I think in nets I feel pretty cramped and isolated, and I don't like sort of trying that sort of stuff. But in a game, when you get going and you feel sometimes like you can do just about anything and pull just about anything off, so it's about looking at the field and picking a gap that you want to exploit and working out a way that you're going to get the ball there. And it just takes a bit of bravery to try certain stuff, and then a lot of commitment to the shot and backing yourself. But in the nets, I mean, you can try that stuff if you want, I guess. If you feel comfortable doing it, then there's no harm, and you're only going to get better at certain shots. And then if you can bring that into a game, then you can, sort of manipulate a bowler and a field better than if you, didn't practice and couldn't bring those shots into your game.
Now, you also established yourself in the team as a very loyal friend and someone who's really fun to be around. What memories stand out for you from your off-field experience in Australia?
I think there's too many memories that I could go back on, but I think the trip to Adelaide was certainly very special, and probably a few too many trips to OBH, which I quite miss. But I think, being able to do those things is great, but the people that I was able to do it with, made it special and memorable. I think we'll all remember Adelaide for what it was, a really good fun time, and all the support crew who came along and made it an even funner time. That was great.
And how about your experience in Adelaide for the National Premier T20 Championships? Are there any moments that stand out particularly for you there?
So some memorable moments from that trip. I think winning that first game was great. Being able to do that and put ourselves in contention to go through was great. We got a massive buzz from that. But then, the wheels sort of fell off the bus the next game. Remember Cookie getting hit in the unmentionables, and we all had a laugh at that. But I think all the nights out that we had, particularly the last night out when everything had finished and it was our last night there, we all had a good crack at it, and it was pretty good fun. I think a couple of boys the following night who stayed on probably had too good of a crack at it and ended up in quite a state, but all in good fun.
We could talk to you all night, but we only have time for a few more questions. You joined Tom Abel as a Marsh Medalist after he won the award in 2015-16. How much of an influence has Tom been on you, A, getting you to Fremantle, and B, on you as a cricketer and a person?
Yeah, Tom was obviously a massive influence in getting me over to Fremantle. He told me so many great things about the club, all of which I found out to be very true. You know, I was helped out massively by so many people, especially Dave, Chelsea, and not to mention Mel and Caitlin, who had to put up with me for the best part of 5 months. And I just appreciate everything that they did for me, but just the club in general. Just such generous people and kind people who did so much for me, and I'm really appreciative of that. You know, and Tom, his influence on me has been great. You know, obviously being captain of Somerset here, he's really grown into his leadership role as captain, and you know, to have as good a human as him to lead everyone and to try and follow, you know, I couldn't think of anyone better.
And look, one final question before we let you give all your thank yous, but you've made some amazing friends, found your favourite place in the world, being the OBH on a Sunday. You found love, you stole the show at Ladies' Day with that performance of Wonderwall, and you've put on some unbelievable performances for Fremantle on the park. So the big question on everyone's minds is, can we expect to see you back next season?
Of course you can expect to see me back. Let's hope this virus goes away. You know, it's still wreaking havoc here in the UK, but it seems that you're all going pretty well over there and keeping safe and doing well, so I hope that continues. So if you open your borders up, then I think you can certainly hope to see me back there in October or even sooner if my visa arrives on time.
Whoa, that's huge news. That is something we are all wanting to hear. Everyone at Freo Cricket Club wants to take this chance to say thank you for coming over and playing with us this season, and to congratulate you on your amazing Marsh Medal winning year. Are there some people you'd like to thank, and do you have any final words for us, Ed?
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. There's quite a few people I would like to thank. As I've mentioned, Chelsea and Dave did so much for me, so thank you again to them. And of course to Mel and Caitlin, just the most amazing couple and positive couple. And to be around them for 5 months, you know, only made me better as a person and kept me motivated to keep doing the things that I did out there. So, you know, thank you again to them. And Diva, obviously. Diva's the dog. To the coaching staff there, Joe and Kopi, and others that helped me out there, thank you very much for putting the time and effort into helping me do what I was able to do out there and helping me with whatever I needed help with in the nets and at training. I was really impressed with how everything was run, so I'm really looking forward to coming back to that again soon. And just to everyone at the club, thank you for being so welcoming to me since the day I got there. You know, I love how hospitable all of you were as a club, and you know, I've made some friends for life now, which is a great thing about cricket for me, is I'm able to travel the world and meet new people and make new friends and form new relationships, and that's really invaluable for me. So thank you guys so much for the award and for having me this season. You know, it was the best 5 months I could have ever possibly asked for and more. So hopefully I'll be back, but until then, stay safe, and sending lots of love from here. Cheers, guys.
Well, thanks, Ed. A truly deserving winner, and we can't wait to see you again soon.
Well, that does it for tonight. So just another really massive congratulations to all the award winners, and a big thank you to all the sponsors that allow us to get out there every season.
That's it. And I'd like to take this chance again to thank Chelsea Fell and Smile Events for providing the food for everyone tonight. And please note, we will not be taking complaints.
Another thank you goes out to all the presenters that helped us with the round reviews, and all the captains and coaches for their time and their words, and other presenters throughout the night.
And last but not least, thank you to you for watching this, making it to the end, and hopefully we provided you with a bit of fun, a bit of entertainment, and something to sort of break up this these crazy times.
We hope you enjoyed the proceedings in what was a very different Marsh Medal for all of us, wasn't it? We can't wait to be back out at Stevens Reserve next summer, but for now, stay safe, look after each other, and go to the port.